arrives in Amherst. Maine coach Ben Barr is back at UMass, where he learned hard-nosed hockey from Greg Carville. Tonight, it's a top 15 rematch as the Black Bears shoot for a road sweep against the Minutemen. Great to be back with you on NESN alongside the former Minuteman Johnny Lazarus. I'm Kevin Gale. Maine is the top-ranked team in Hockey East. The Black Bears score more goals than any team in the league while embracing their blue-collar heritage. How's Ben Barr demanding even more from his defending Hockey East champs?
Ben Barr is one of the most intense coaches in all of college hockey, but if you asked him what the identity of the Maine Black Bears is, he'd show you a game film from last night. The Black Bears were crisp on their breakouts. They had a lot of speed through the middle of the ice, and on their forecheck, they were incredibly aggressive. They got skill up front with guys like Justin Poirier, and oh yeah, in goal, they got an All-American Alvin Boya. This team is loaded from top to bottom.
And that led to a dominant 6-2 win over the Minutemen. UMass coach Greg Carville said it was the worst his team has played in 10 years. Wow, what went wrong for the Minutemen?
The Minutemen came out of the gates pretty flat, but credit to Maine. They were above the puck all night long, smothering UMass and beating them at their own game. So tonight, the Minutemen need to get pucks in behind the Maine defensemen, get on their forecheck, get pucks from low to high, and make life hard in front of Alvin Boya by getting bodies to that net front.
Josh Nadeau netted a hat trick. He scored in all situations, including a shorty. That makes him an easy pick for our player to watch in the rematch. How can he replicate that kind of scoring punch?
Josh Nadeau stands at 5'8", but he plays like he's 6'2". He's got speed, he's tough, he's fearless. He's got a lot of skill as well, and oh yeah, he can shoot the puck. Nadeau scored a shorthanded goal, a power play goal, and an even strength goal last night, so look for him to be all over the ice tonight as far as offense goes as well. And for UMass, you're looking at Jack Musa, the junior, who's a guy with a lot of NHL attention coming into this season. His motor never stops. He's got a ton of energy. He's the leader of this team. Everyone looks to Musa to set the tone for the Minutemen. And tonight, he'll have to have a very loud performance after what was a quiet night for the Minutemen last night.
UMass looking for revenge. Maine shooting for a 5th straight win. Should be a great one tonight at the home of the 2021 national champs. Stay with us for Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Friday Night Hockey East on NESN set to go. Number 6 Maine, number 13 UMass. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders, presented by Agnelli Law Offices, attorneys who once protected the Nets, but who now protect your workers' compensation rights. One of the best in collegiate hockey, Alvin Boya, All-American last year, needed just 14 saves last night in that dominant 6-2 win here at UMass. He's facing a surprise starter from last night's game, Jackson Irving. His first start since January of last year, made 48 saves. Johnny, wasn't enough against these electrifying Black Bears.
Jackson Irving was probably the only player for UMass last night that showed up and competed for the full 60 minutes. Coach Carville preached that he was as good as he could have been in that game last night. Tonight, they got to play much better in front of Irving. But on the other side, in Boya, you got a guy who Coach Barr said has just been okay. Hasn't lived up to the standards that he's usually set. So UMass does have a strong chance tonight.
We are working here in the first period, and there are no secrets when you hear from Greg Carville after a loss like that for UMass. He said, we have got to be better tonight, and they have got to deliver right out of the gate. Expect some hard-hitting shifts early here for the Minutemen to set a tone in front of a nice crowd on Friday night here at home. I'm Kevin Gale with Johnny Lazarus, 2 top 15 teams, and they play such similar brands of hockey. Maine was just better at getting into the dirty areas last night.
The biggest thing for Maine last night was having a strong F3. The Minutemen weren't able to make any plays over the blue line on offense, and when they tried to dump pucks, Maine was right back on the counterattack going on offense themselves.
Mikey Angelo was trying to get a little physical there on the forecheck. Flipped the sheet for UMass. Scrapping along the far wall, trying to free that puck up. Just out of the reach of D'Angelo, the Michigan State transfer. Scored last weekend against Cornell as we get a stoppage here and a face-off in front of Jackson Irving. These are two teams that are young. They are bringing in young freshman talent, starting to work into the fold. It's been funny talking with Ben Barr in his 5th season. He's still clinging to that idea that he doesn't have the best talent in the league, but I'm looking up and down this roster, especially Justin Poirier, John. He looks like an elite scorer.
Ben Barr gets the most out of his players. He's done that at every stop he's been to, at Union, Providence, here at UMass. Benny has always been a demanding coach, and guys want to work hard for him. So it's no surprise to me that Maine's been as successful as they have been so far this year.
Ben Barr, an outstanding recruiter, and recruited you to UMass, one of his better finds.
That's the one knock. The one negative on his resume.
Cale Makar and you. Nice handles right in front, and that one goes through the blue. Minutemen all the same. There's a trip and a fall. Russell gets right back up to his feet. And we'll get the first penalty of the game, a trip against the Minutemen. This is not the way to bounce back in the rematch.
Especially with a stick penalty. Coaches never want to see a stick penalty in the D zone. That's what coaches say is lazy. And to start a game like that in the first minute and 10 seconds to go shorthanded after Maine went 2 for 4 on their power play last night, not the ideal start here at home for the Minutemen. Get another look at it right here in the middle of your screen. Keenan just trying to get stick on puck with Charlie Russell, but gets right in between the skates. Russell goes down, and that's an easy 2-minute call.
Keenan, one of 4 freshmen on D last year for Greg Carvel. Developed well. 4th-round pick by Detroit, but costly mistake there, and a face-off win for UMass to kill some time on the PK. Black Bears 2 for 4 on the man advantage last night. Really helped the average, just 18.9% conversion rate this season. 9th best out of 11 teams in Hockey East. Still early days and plenty more to come on that sample size. UMass flips it back down the sheet. Stopped by Boya. He'll tee it up for Holt.
Good retrievals early for UMass. Guys on the walls, capturing pucks off the wall. Sometimes it's tough to caress a bouncing puck, but well done there by Lucas Olvestad, the captain for the Minutemen.
Saw some great looks from the first power play unit for Maine as that one goes bounding in front off Jackson Irving. Maine getting some looks for the first time. 5-on-4. Nadeau. Cross ice. Perfect feed. How did Irving stop that? Wow. Absolutely stoned Max Scott. Crowd catching their breath, Johnny. Down low. Refeed to Nadeau, and he missed it wide. These are great A's right in front of number 1 in net.
Huge for Irving off the bat here to get his confidence too. Led in 6 goals last night, but that doesn't tell the story because he was unbelievable with 48 saves. But for him to make a save like that, pushing from right to left and a wide open one-timer for Max Scott, that's going to get the bench fired up too here on this PK.
Irving replacing the every night starter Michael Harabel, who is day-to-day with an injury, missing for the 2nd straight game. Peterson flips it middle. Shot pass went off the stick of Russell.
Good start to the power play here for Maine, though they're getting good looks.
That one deflected in front. Some big bodies going to battle there, including Frank Jurasevich. Time ticking down on the Black Bears. Cross seam pass. Peterson wants it again up high. Fowler pointing his way, goes through the wash. Keenan getting set to rejoin. Fowler, one last gasp. That one's wide. Bounding in front. That was deflected out of the air as Keenan steps right back onto the sheet and then onto the bench. 5-on-5 hockey here. Russell looking for options. Peterson clanked it. Now a chance for Musar, player to watch for UMass. Pushes it out toward neutral ice, and a successful kill from UMass, but it really belongs to Jackson Irving in net.
You never want to take a penalty to start a game, but this is actually something that could be a positive for the Minutemen. They let up 2 goals last night shorthanded, and to start off at 100%, that's going to get the bench going and get the guys a little bit excited to get back on the ice now for their first shift.
Hard hit applied in the corner by James Dewar. Sophomore from Chicago trying to set a tone for the Minutemen. Maine already out to a 6-0 shot advantage lead, similar to last night. Nobes tries to scrape that out of the corner. Picked up behind the cage by Owen Murray, one of the captains for UMass. Determines most games with Olvestad. That one knocked down in front again. Lots of good traffic created in front by the Black Bears. That one took a funny hop off the back wall. Murray gets around to check and works it up ice. High into the Mullins center sky. And Maine backs it up.
Not sure if it's
continuing to apply the pressure.
Not sure if it's on purpose right now, but Maine is using the backboards behind Irving to get those strong bounces in front. They've had 2 good looks, just throwing pucks off the backboards and seeing how it bounces.
Looking for those lively bounces here in Amherst. This is a larger sheet than what you see across the league, including at Alphond up in Orono, Maine. Always a mental consideration for a team here on the road. Know they have to work a little bit harder and cover more space. It has been all Maine early here, but UMass with a successful PK, keeping it level at 0. Whistle here, 14:57 to go in the opening period. And Greg Carvel, oh boy, that was quite a 2 minutes and 30 seconds of his press conference last night.
Greg Carvel is as straightforward as coaches come in college hockey. He'll tell you exactly how it is. And last night, I know there was actually a players-only meeting after the game. Carv went in and spoke for a little bit, but it was amongst the guys themselves to figure out how they wanted to come out tonight, because last night was one of the most underperforming games you've seen in Greg Carvel's tenure.
As a former player, how did you typically respond to a players-only gathering like that?
It's tough, right? Because everyone wants to speak up and say something and have their voice be heard, but it's just words. You got to go out and show it the next night that you care. UMass has been a little bit inconsistent so far this year, so tonight they needed to have a strong start, and it hasn't been that way so far.
Jenshko trying to flip the script now. 2-on-1 chance developing. D'Angelo crashing in front. Pass never came through.
Pretty good idea, though, from Jenshko. I like the fake shot and try to slip it back door.
Swept in from the point. That's off target behind Albin Boya, who has yet to face a shot on goal in this game. Rusevich plays it through center ice. Onto the stick of Jeremy Langlois. Third-round pick by Arizona, now Utah in the NHL. One of 10 freshmen getting better for the Black Bears every day. Sky's the limit for this team. Already ranked number 6 in the country and unblemished in league play. Holt got hit hard by Musa. The junior from Florida, hockey's player of the month in October. Maine goes offsides. 14 minutes exactly to play in the first period. Both teams getting settled in. UMass trying to bring the energy after going down by 4 goals last night. Jackson Irving has 50+ saves this weekend. What a start. $13:50 to go in the first period. UMass and UMaine knotted up at nothing apiece. I'm Kevin Gale with the former Minuteman Johnny Lazarus, and we take a closer look at Jack Musa, co-leads all Hockey East players in points. He's got 14, matched only by Justin Poirier on the other side for Maine. 2 of the better scorers in the league this year. How do they differ, Johnny?
Jack Musa is more of that energy spark plug that is all over the ice for the Minutemen, while Poirier is a goal scorer and is dangerous everywhere in the offensive zone. Not necessarily known for his defensive zone, but he's learning a lot coming over from the CHL. Ben Barr has been working with a lot of those Canadian major junior players that have now made the jump to college hockey, where Jack Musa has 3 years already under his belt, so a little bit more experience in that end.
Canadian major junior players are pushing the average age up for players all across college hockey this season. It's putting a little bit more pressure on those young talents that jump into the mix, and we have a hooking penalty spotted in the main end of the ice. And we will wait for confirmation on the call. It looks like Nestrasil is going to go second Minuteman to the box.
UMass has taken a lot of offensive zone stick penalties this weekend, and that is just very undisciplined. The freshman this time, Vaslav Nestrasil, just gets his hook in the rib cage of Peterson. It looks like as Peterson's going back on that puck to start the breakout, and now the UMass Minutemen find themselves killing another penalty before we've even hit the 7-minute mark of the first period.
Nestrasil, another young player, freshman from Prague in Czechia. The offense really flows through him, and he will sit for 2 minutes as Maine gets another crack on the power play.
Nestrasil also one of the better PKers too, so that's another big loss to this PK unit.
Jackson Irving fought off the first shot he faced on this 5-on-4. Frees it with 13:28 to go here in the first.
The Minutemen had 3 shots on goal in the first period in last night's game, where Maine had 19, and it looks like we're kind of on the same track so far tonight. Maine already with 6, and the Minutemen with none to show here in the first 6 minutes and change.
Black Bears outshot the Minutemen 54-16, scored 2 goals in 16 seconds late in the first period, including a shorty by Josh Nadeau. Here's a wrist shot, stopped by Irving. Fat rebound into the circle, stopped again. Poirier was creeping in front. UMass wings it down the ice for a reset.
The Minutemen wanted a penalty there too. It looked like Owen Murray got slashed as he was trying to clear that puck, but a good look at the danger of Justin Poirier. 9 goals in 9 games, and with that shot, you can see why.
First unit offensively on the power play has been good for Maine as that puck flutters out of play. Ben Barr said, we're just looking to solidify a second unit. Who's going to be that next man up for Maine as they creep toward 20% on the power play?
We'll take another look at Justin Poirier right off the face-off, walking into the slot, trying to go high glove on Jackson Irving, and actually gets a rebound to himself, but I don't think that second chance actually got through. The Minutemen do a great job at blocking shots, but Poirier is going to be that #1 option here on this top unit for a one-timer.
PK starts with the goaltender, and Irving is dialed in this one. Russell can't pinch, and down it goes to Albin Boya.
Surprised to see the second unit out actually this early. only 30, 40 seconds into the first power play chance, and the first unit is now on the bench.
Still 1:08 to go on this Maine power play. Top side for Peterson. Into the circle. Collapsing the defense of UMass. Off the back wall again. Fowler can't reel it in. Now he's got it on his blade. Marked closely by Del Elche. Good pickup by Keenan right in front of his own goal. Backhands it out of the zone.
Really good play by Larry Keenan, 6'4" blue liner, using his reach to protect the puck and go backhand glassing out. That's a much harder play than it looks to clear a puck on your backhand like that.
UMass only 10th best in Hockey East killing penalties this season, but Greg Carvel said, I'm not worried yet. Van Tassel with a shorthanded chance. Killing some time as he pushes into the corner. Got around Miguel Marcus, third round pick by Nashville a year ago.
Smart play to pin it against the boards too. That kills off around 10, 15 seconds. Van Tassel was one of the bright spots last night for UMass when there weren't many.
Final 10 seconds on the Black Bears' advantage. Russell is outnumbered. Pushed out to the wall by Olvestad. Joining the play. Ooh, hard hit. Langlois got sandwiched by the Minutemen, and we're back to 5-on-5. That's 2 successful kills for UMass. Nestersil nifty behind the back. Boya scoops it up and freezes for a face-off. Little pushing and shoving here as the captain Olvestad gets into the lap of Albin Boya.
Looked like Will Gerrois also tried to lay the body on the UMass first-round pick to the Blackhawks as Vaslav Nestersil with a pretty little pass to himself in the neutral zone and just wants to throw a puck on Boya. But we get another look right there, that sandwich hit on Langlois from Van Tassel and Olvestad, 2 of the more physical guys on this Minutemen team.
Olvestad led all UMass D with 13 points last year. His head coach said he was the most important addition to the roster, a transfer from Denver where he learned how to play championship hockey off the outside of the pipe and right back onto the stick of Landon Nyes. Keeps the puck moving. Another talented freshman into the mix for the Minutemen. Fans liking this physical play down in the main end. Students getting involved. Good crowd here on a Friday night. Tried to get the Minutemen back on track. Losers of 2 in a row. Maine has rattled off 4 wins straight to move to 3-0-0 in Hockey East.
The physical play coming from the top line also of Musa, Galanic, and Nestersil, who are more known for their playmaking and their flair. But right now, getting on the forecheck, throwing the body, letting Maine really feel them, where last night they didn't get many of that.
Hand pass called. Galanic centering that top line. And how young are these centers for UMass? 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, lines 1 through 4. That can make things tough, not just at the face-off dot, but maintaining the advantage throughout the game.
They actually shifted things too. Last night they had 3 freshmen down the middle. AJ Lacroix was playing center last night too, so Coach Carwell maybe made that adjustment between last night's game and tonight, putting 2 sophomores instead of 3 freshmen.
Face-off win for UMass. Looking for a first quality chance in this game. Wrap around. Boya got to the pipe. Good idea on the wrap. That was Matthew Wild, called out by his head coach earlier this week, making things happen on this shift. UMass keeps it in, buzzing now, 5-on-5. Wild trying to fight through Black Bears down low. Marcus, touch pass, can't clear the zone. Flipped up out of the air, nice grab by Kerr. Jurasevich bumped off Kerr. His cage is open. Hard around, and a deflection to Yenchko. Delayed penalty coming against Maine. Yenchko, nice handles on the half wall. Hanrahan wants it. Goes to the front, shot off the crossbar. Best chance of the game by Van Tassel, and the puck finally leaves the zone. 6-on-5 advantage for UMass with Irving out of the net.
What a rip by Van Tassel, and a really nice exchange on the blue line between him and Keenan.
Oh, a great feed by Van Tassel, but Boya made a stop. Best chances of the game for UMass, and now the Minutemen go 5-on-4.
And you can feel the energy shift now in this building a little bit. The crowd is into it. They've built momentum off their PK, and now they're going to get their chance on the power play. As you get another look at that beautiful move by Van Tassel to set up Dewar driving to the back post.
Hockey Hockey East on Nesson is brought to you in part by Boston Children's Museum. Visit Boston Children's Museum today, the official children's museum of Hockey East. No score, 9:35 to go in the first period here in Amherst, Massachusetts. UMass is going on the power play for the first time with Jeremy Langlois sitting for two.
Watch for Daniel Jensko on his one-time flank. That's the #1 look for the Minutemen on their power play. Jensko actually had a great chance in the soft area on that last shift when the shot went off the near side netting to the left of the post, but Jensko's shot is so dangerous when he gets it off and he has time and space.
UMass 0 for 4 on the power play against Maine last night, had gone 6 in a row with a power play goal. Greg Carvel's team second best overall this season in Hockey East. One-timer and a goal! UMass on the board with Francesco Del Elche. First power play goal of the season for Del Elche. What an answer by the Minutemen.
It starts with the clean face-off win. They execute the play off the draw exactly how they wanted to. Jack Galanic bearing down at the dot, wins it right back to Nestor, and Del Elche was teed up and ready to go, but it actually takes a funny bounce off of Thomas Friel, the captain for Maine on the PK, loses an edge as he's trying to block the shot, and Boya goes down to make the save, and it goes right over him. A lucky and fortunate bounce for the Minutemen to get this thing started.
UMass will take it however it comes in the back end of this double dip. Maine dominated the opening minutes of this game, had a 7-0 shots on goal advantage, but it's UMass finding the back of the net first, and nothing Boya could do on the funny hop.
And that's the momentum that you get from your PK. They go 2 for 2, and then a couple of shifts later, the Minutemen start to buzz. They get offensive pressure. Nick Van Tassel hits the crossbar, and you just build on the positives that you see from the bench. Benny Barr not looking too happy on the bench for UMaine right now, but the Minutemen catch a lucky break, and now they can play with the lead.
Ben Barr turning red for the first time here at UMass. He said, we've got to work harder. Defensive zone, loose pucks in the corner. We've been dominated some nights. Hard to believe for the #6 team in the country. UMass playing with some sizzle now. Nice handles there by Murray. Gets back to his feet. Played it along the goal line, extended. Chance now for Kerr, the freshman, who's been awesome at the face-off dot. Looking to add some offense as that one goes cleanly out of play. So both teams catching their breath here, John. Little souvenir in the stands as UMass delivers on the promise from Greg Carvel that they were going to have to burst out of the gate a whole lot faster tonight than last night.
And a big thing for the Minutemen, too, is bearing down on face-offs. Face-offs have been a big problem for this team so far this year, and it's very encouraging to see a freshman in Jack Galanic win that draw clean to set up that beautiful power play goal. Galanic also had his first NCAA goal last night, even though it came late in the game.
Galanic looking like a Don Slush-Mellis, the type of player you need to win in collegiate hockey. That was high praise from Greg Carvel earlier this week, calling back to one of his faves.
Galanic and Nestor also come into UMass as freshmen together after winning a Clark Cup championship together last year with the Muskegon Lumberjacks. It's funny, I actually referenced Game 5 in that series a lot because Jack Galanic actually attempted the Michigan. To have the swagger to do that in a winner-take-all Game 5, you can just tell how much confidence Galanic brings to his freshman year and to this UMass squad.
Good example of the differences you learned going from USHL to Hockey East. That's not going to fly most nights in this league.
I told him right after that game, if you try that with Coach Carvel on the bench, it won't end pretty.
Shot stayed in the rink, high off the glass. UMass controlling the last 5 minutes of action now. Stepping over the goal, Klečka behind the cage. Freshman from Bratislava in Slovakia. One of 6 Europeans on the roster for the Minutemen. Back out through neutral ice. Francesco Del Elche, fresh off his goal. Great feet, good blue line play at BU a couple weeks back. 3rd round pick by Colorado. Galanic wanted it up top. Instead, it's Keenan. Played it through. Kicked by Boya into the corner. Touch pass all the way around for Del Elche. Backhand feed right behind the cage. Strasil to Keenan. Fake the big shot. Heads back up to the blue line. Marked closely by Poirier. Keenan changes direction into the corner. Cross ice, Galanic up high. Del Elche Great possession here, 5-on-5. Fluttering puck buzzes the tower. Scott gets pinned. UMass dialing up the intensity here midway through the first. Long skate for Galanic. He's fresh. The freshman feeds it through. Off a deflection, Musa had Nestrasil for a moment. Now he's jammed up behind the cage. Musa comes in for support for UMass.
Best offensive zone shift of the weekend for the Minutemen.
Oh, and a bold pass out of its own zone. Maine finally gets it clear. With less than 7 minutes to go. Icing called, so this tired 5 for Maine will have to stay on the ice.
You can see right now Luke Peterson, the defenseman for Maine, the freshman from the Green Bay Gamblers last year, hunched over. He's exhausted from a long D-zone shift right now. The Maine Black Bears are certainly breathing heavy, and Charlie Russell, the junior, veteran move here, taking his time to get back into the zone for that face-off. But the Minutemen group, they know they have a chance here to attack and possibly extend this lead to 2-0.
Russell's got all kinds of experience. Transfer last year from Clarkson. Scored the overtime game winner against Northeastern during that thrilling Hockey East Championship tournament run for the Black Bears last year. It's been a long time since a non-Massachusetts school had taken home the title at TD Garden. Another icing here with 6:49 to go in the first period, and the script has completely changed as UMass is pointing down here. Lucas Olvestad taking charge as the captain. Maybe that players-only meeting worked because they're playing with some fire, John.
The Black Bears trying to confuse the linesman right now, but to that point, Lucas Olvestad telling the bench, hey, they made a change on the icing and tried to trick the officials here to get some fresh guys out on that icing call. Olvestad and Hanrahan slowed down to allow the icing to be called, and that's why Maine's complaining as well.
We play on 5-on-5. Boya hugs it. Maine has been hemmed into its own end.
And I gotta tell you, Boya looks a little shaky right now. He wasn't tested much last night, only faced 16 shots. He had 14 saves. UMass really peppering him here in the last 4 or 5 minutes or so.
Boya, not the biggest goaltender. Junior from Sweden, stands just 6'1". He's always been great in the mental game, but sometimes, Johnny, when he gives up early goals, he gets a little hard on himself. It's something that Ben Barr's been working with him throughout his career. It's
hard not to be, and actually last night I referenced the mental performance coach that we had at UMass when I was here, Luther. He's actually with the Maine Black Bears now, so Ben Barr took him over from UMass to Maine, and I'm sure he's a big help as well for these kids.
Van Tassel nearly threaded the needle for UMass. Kerr gets nudged off in the corner. Another deflected shot in front, and Van Tassel is taken up residence at the top of the blue. Maine doesn't like it.
Nick Van Tassel, 6'5" junior out of Basking Ridge, New Jersey. The Ottawa Senators prospect, just trying to rattle the cage of Alvin Boya. And that's something that I love as a player. I mean, I used to always stop right at the blue paint, get in the goalie's face, let him know I'm there. And right now the Minutemen have the Maine Black Bears on their heels, and they're going to try to do everything they can to unravel them a bit.
Too many penalties last night for UMass. Now finding the edges of physicality without stepping over. Had a couple penalties early in this game, killed them both off. That built all kinds of momentum leading up to the power play goal. Special teams, the difference so far, 1-0 UMass. Van Tassel flings it into the corner. Long chase there for Justin Kerr. Boya stuck on the ice sheet again. Van Tassel gets around Motu. Circles back below the goal line. That up high to the point. Hanrahan can't get it down low, and it's a race towards center. Marcus there, the youngster for Maine, and finally Jackson Irving springs into action from the UMass net. Minutemen doing a great job to protect their goaltender on the other end. Just his 3rd start in the last 10 months. He's been lightly used, waiting behind Michael Harabel, but up to the task the last 2 nights. Marcus, great feed. Nearly 5-hole, and Irving covered it up. Boy, he had second thoughts there.
That puck was loose in between Irving's 5-hole and Sully Sholey, who had a great game last night for Maine, tried to poke it home after the whistle, and he has to answer the bell right away from A.J. Lacroix. But heck of a play there by Miguel Marcus to cut back and find that little seam to create that scoring chance.
Go beyond with Service Credit Union. From free checking to high rate savings. Learn more at servicecu.org. UMass doing a service to its fans tonight. 1-0 lead at home early. Down 7-0 on the shot counter. Maine dominated the early action with a couple power plays. UMass hit back courtesy of Francesco Del Elche's third goal of the season. Off a face-off win. Kicked into the corner by Jackson Irving. Now UMass climbs the ladder. UMass hustling into the Maine end. Watches Langlois take it back the other way for Maine. Doe, touch pass to his captain, Friel. Great feed in front, and Jackson Irving had it turned away. Kalanick got knocked over behind his own cage. Now it's Olvestad into action. Huge energy booster when he's on the ice. But that one wanders down for ice.
Nestrasil didn't want to throw the puck into the middle and turn it over. Tries to give a bank pass to Kalanick, and now Nestrasil actually having some words with Thomas Friel, the captain of Maine. Nestrasil doing a lot of yapping so far tonight. I like to see that out of the first rounder. But this line so far already in the first period has been much more noticeable than they were all night last night. Kalanick gets one late in the third, but they didn't generate much in the first two periods.
Greg Carvel was asked last night after the 6-2 loss, are you going to tinker with the lines? He said, no. This is not a line chemistry issue. This is just an effort issue. And his team has answered the call tonight as Irving wisely covers off the faceoff. And here goes a little more of that pushing and shoving. This thing's getting more physical than we saw last night.
To that point you were just making, Kevin, about last night's game, I was talking to the coaching staff after, and it's just one of those nights where you burn the tape. The answers weren't in the video. It was simple. The Minutemen didn't come out, they didn't compete, and they didn't execute, and you don't need to rewatch that and bury them even deeper. So it's important for the captain, Owen Murray, and Lucas Olvestad to step in front of the team and talk and just say, this is not who we are. This is not UMass hockey. We know we play fast, we're prepared, and we play the game hard, and that's not what we did last night. So tonight, let's get back to our identity. Let's get back to what we do, and so far we've seen that.
Greg Carvel had no indication that was coming as that one takes a kick off the back wall up high around Irving. Nice idea by Poirier. Last weekend, a split weekend home series for UMass. Carvel said against Cornell, our mistakes were down, our checking was up. We played a full 120-minute weekend for the first time all season, and then they reverted back to the negative. Surprising to see, Johnny.
That's what happens when a lot of players leave a program. I mean, this UMass team is missing guys from last year's squad like Cole O'Hara, Idar Sunyev, Kenny Connors, Lucas Mercury, Ryan Lautenbach, guys who were staples here for so long.
Well, when you put it that way, yeah,
I mean,
it's understandable.
There's a lot of new faces and a lot of underclassmen that come in, so it does take time.
Poirier off the draw. Irving got the pad extended. Van Tassel gave it up to Maine. Chance in the slot. Poirier wide. Gets his miss. Tried to tuck it in, and Irving's got it with the glove. A little more of the rugby scrum in front, and no surprise, Charlie Russell's in the middle of it again.
I gotta say, I really enjoy watching this Justin Poirier play, the Carolina Hurricanes prospect. Every time he gets the puck, he shoots it. He looks like he's, I'm gonna make a weird comparison here. I'm a big NBA fan, but he's almost like J.R. Smith. There's no such thing as a bad shot. I'm a Knicks fan. I watched a lot of J.R. Smith, and I feel like every time he touched the ball behind the three-point line, he was shooting. But Justin Poirier tonight, he's got at least 6 shot attempts in this game. Maine has 9 shots on goal. I feel like Poirier's got at least 5. He's been on fire, and every chance he's getting, he's letting Jackson Irving feel it.
Just like JR, he's got the green light in his own mind.
You get what
every
I'm saying,
time
right?
down. He is a natural scorer, 5th-round pick by Carolina a year ago. They like what they've seen so far.
I know there's Boston Celtics fans listening right now on Nesson.
Give away to Maine. Off the goal line, it's Irving. Scrambling for the puck, and where did he get there? Yeah, he scooped it up with his glove. Boy, he has felt the pressure here in the first period. Whole lot of Black Bears in the dirty areas, and that is Ben Bar hockey, picked up from Greg Carvel when he was the associate head coach here.
Another note to add about Ben Bar's coaching staff, Rick Bennett, who runs the defense corps. Bennett was the head coach of Union when they won the national championship back in 2014, and Ben Bar actually worked with Bennett on that staff. So to bring Rick Bennett over here to run the blue line for the Black Bears, it's funny how things go full circle sometimes in college hockey.
Rick Bennett's experience is key, coaching that D-corps for the Black Bears. Drusevich tries to feed one wide side. Maine there first in the corner again. Changing the momentum of this first period. Down a goal with 4:20 to go before the first intermission. UMass has it back. Nice pass to Klechka. A strong start this season, 4 goals in his first 6 games. D'Angelo crisscrosses with Yenchko, who gives it up in neutral ice. room now for the Black Bears, but teams playing catch back and forth.
I think Larry Keenan, the Red Wings prospect, has been the best player on the ice so far tonight. Number 18 in white, 6'4", really strong, smooth skating defenseman, but just making all the right reads and the right plays and passes. He looks really sharp so far.
Lieberman got bowled over by Will Gerrois. That's going to be a tough one to say throughout the season, but it's got a nice ring to it for the Halifax native. Gerrois.
It's a fun one to say, that's for sure. Take a deep breath here.
That's right. Del Elche, the goal scorer, showing great growth in the weight room and in his mindset, playing physical D, trying to match what Larry Keenan has done defensively in the first. Boya scrambling back into position. Marcus patiently gets it off his own end. 3:10 to go before the first break. Nyes, long skate out of his own zone. Still with it, into the main end. He's got it again, little self pass out of the corner. It's deflected in front and wiggles back to the blue line where Murray hammers the brakes. Pinch there by Lacroix, lays it down deep. Langlois, bumping bodies for Maine. 50-50 puck out of the corner. Belongs to the Black Bears. Off the stick, Sully Sholey. Broke through for his first points of the season last weekend against BU. That was a shootout up in Maine and a sweep for the Black Bears. Flipped back out. Delayed penalty coming here. And it's a hold call against Maine. UMass is going to go back on the power play for the second time.
Motu can't believe it either. That's a really strong power forward move, though, by Justin Kerr, the freshman out of Youngstown in the USHL, using his body to protect the puck and drive that net. Coaches love to see a player just lower their shoulder and get to that net. That's exactly how you draw a penalty, and sometimes those pucks even go in. So a big opportunity now for the Minutemen on their second power play to get another one.
I like that idea from Justin Kerr. He is big and strong, 6'5", 220 pounds as a freshman, still looking for his first collegiate goal. Galenic goes to the dot on the power play.
Same exact setup as how their first goal was scored. Del Elche for the one-time. Nestor still lined up behind Galenic, and they make it a break here with a whistle on the draw.
Violation called on Maine. Tense moments here for Maine. Backed up in the back half of this first period. Massachusetts looking to go 2 for 2 on the power play as Galenic steps out.
Something's going on. One of the officials is at the score clock. I think they're trying to put the 2 minutes back on the board. 1 second came off. They're resetting that.
Walker Holton and Michael Zyla are 2 referees today. Nick Briganti, Anthony Val are linesmen. They have missed a sneaky Black Bear getting on the ice after an icing. Nestor Sill trying to set up 5-on-4. Here go the Minutemen. Off the wall, it's Galenic. Good in tight spaces. Lays it down deep. Nestor Sill tried to touch it to Musa. Picked up right in front by Maine. Nice handles by Max Scott, the Brown transfer, brother of Harrison Scott. They are like clones of each other in this Maine program.
Ben Barr loves those two. He was very happy to get Max Scott as a transfer. Misses his brother, but tough start to the power play here for the Minutemen. Nestor Sill just fanned on a pass to the middle, and right now you're seeing a very aggressive PK for Maine.
Soro got the better of Jack Musa. Tough to do. Elche at the line. Played off the wall by Galenic, goes down to a knee. And another successful clear by Maine. Now a shorthanded chance. Nadeau nearly got a gift. Back in comes UMass. Final 1:28 in the first period. Stepping in, Del Elche already with a power play goal. One-timer. Boya didn't get it clean, but made the stop.
Jenshko showing his speed down the far side wall to get set up for the Minutemen, while Maine was all over them on the initial opportunity. UMass finally gets set up, and Jenshko gets that one-timer off, but Boya read it the whole way. Del Elche did a good job at moving laterally along the blue line, but it was pretty obvious the pass he was going to make over to Jenshko.
The average might not be where UMass was last year on the power play, but Greg Carville says he thinks this power play unit can be better now than a year ago.
What was interesting last year, too, the Minutemen had 5 forwards on the power play. You don't normally see that in today's game. Now, you typically get 1 defenseman, 4 forwards, and that's what we're seeing with this unit and the first unit as well.
A little more balance this season, but hard to argue with the results with those 5 forwards a year ago. It's always funny when you tell Carve his power play percentage. He goes, oh, is that what it is? I didn't even know. He doesn't care. Eye test. UMass trying to figure out a zone entry here with less than 1 minute to go in the first. Still 26 seconds on the man advantage. UMass has to regain the zone again.
When you have a goalie that's so confident playing the puck, it's such a big advantage. Albin Boya just essentially broke out Maine himself on the PK. So advantageous to have a guy who's confident coming out of his crease.
Another missed pass to Van Tassel. This is killing precious time for UMass. 4 seconds to go, 5-on-4. Galanic hustling. Spun off a check. Got undercut by Bodie Nobes, and we're back to 5-on-5. UMaine now 1 for 2 on the PK. Closing seconds in the first period. UMass fans get a little restless. Minutemen just trying to get into the room.
Had some pushing and shoving by the UMass bench. Cam O'Neill and Charlie Russell were going at it.
One last chance for Scholey. Stopped by Jackson Irving, who flipped it right up to his glove, and that finishes off a sparkling first period for the backup goaltender turned starter. 11 saves and a 1-0 lead heading into the room. Johnny, that was a great response by UMass after being outshot 7-0 early.
Not exactly the way you want to start a game, having to kill off 2 penalties, but the poise and composure of Jackson Irving in the net allowed the Minutemen to take a deep breath and relax, and then finally get to their game. But special teams right now is telling this story. It's a power play goal for UMass that separates these 2 teams, while Maine 0 for 2 on their man advantage to start.
That goal belongs to Francesco Del Elche, his first power play tally of the season. UMass looking for revenge against the Maine Black Bears. Good start, 1-0 lead, heading to the room. You're watching Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. UMass with a 1-0 lead over Maine in a top 15 matchup. First intermission presented by Boston Children's Hospital. Well, some big news on campus here at UMass earlier this week as Thor Bjorn, UMass alum, joined the UMass athletics staff as Senior Deputy Athletic Director. Here's more from the introductory presser.
So happy and so thankful to Ryan, so thankful to Joe for the opportunity to be back on this campus. I got here a little bit early and took a walk on that football stadium, and yes, it's a little different than it was in 1986, but my memories just came flooding back to me. It was just amazing. It's a special place. Football is really important to me. When I think about the impacts that it's had on my life and my personal development, this entire institution has made such a significant difference for me. And so when Ryan reached out and shared his vision, again, we've been friends for a long time. That's important. But to be honest with you, the reason I'm here is because of the vision he shared. I've known Joe too. I think Joe is a great coach. Watching him coach at Maine and getting to know him while he was there, and then following his career both at Minnesota and Rutgers. He's not a good coach, he's a great coach, and that excites me. But then the difference being, and it can't be understated, this move to the MAC was a significant decision by this university that's going to put this football program in position to be competitive, to go win championships, get to bowl games. I know that seems, maybe a little bit off in the future. And that was a great question you asked Joe about immediate, what type of immediate success can you see? There is no such thing. When I look at this program and I look at this move to the MAC, the thing that gets me so excited is their stability now. Stability that you can't have as an independent unless you're Notre Dame. And again, that gets talked about a lot, but it's real. And that's the piece that excites me. And then when we start talking about, Ryan shared with me his vision about stadium renovations and support as it relates to NIL and support as it relates to staff. Those are significant commitments that this university's making, that Ryan's making, the chancellor's making, to put Joe and his staff and these amazing players who I had the chance to meet with today a little bit, in position to achieve all their goals. So this is exciting. I'm fired up. It's something that makes me really jacked. It's funny, I was saying to these guys at lunch, being around football players my entire life, whether it was here for 14 years or at Rhode Island for the past 18, they're all the same. And what they are is great character men. They're people that understand what leadership is developed by being part of a football program. And I can already see their love and passion for this school. It's the same love and passion that myself and my teammates, so many of which I heard from yesterday when this announcement came out, and then also 14 years with the guys that I got to know when I was working here. It was special. It's family. And I am so honored and thrilled to be here.
Welcome back to the Boston Children's Hospital intermission inside the Mullins Center in Amherst, Massachusetts. Tonight, homestanding UMass has a 1-0 lead after the first 20 minutes over number 6 Maine. Let's look back at the highlights from the first period. Maine dominated the opening action. 7 shots on goal to none. Got a couple power play opportunities, but Jackson Irving was the man in the first 20.
Jackson Irving set the stage with that incredible save right off the bat on the Maine power play, pushing from right to left, and that got the UMass bench fired up to kill off 2 penalties in the first 7 minutes of this contest. But we saw some physicality, some big hits, some great plays. Nick Van Tassel with that backhand toe drag, but it's the power play right now that's the difference in this game. Off a beautiful face-off by Jack Galanick, Nestrasil in a set play finds Del Elche for that one-timer. And the Minutemen do get a fortuitous bounce off Thomas Friel, who tried to block that shot. Unfortunate for Albin Boya, but the Minutemen were off and running at around halfway through that first period.
Galanick and Nestrasil get the assists on that Francesco Del Elche power play goal. Relatively even through the first period, but the difference on special teams, UMass 1 for 2 on the 5-on-4. Let's step aside. We'll have plenty more to come here in Amherst. Don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Start of the second period here in Amherst. The homestanding UMass Minutemen have a 1-0 lead over Maine as we wrap up the Boston Children's Hospital intermission report here on Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Good one brewing here. Top 15 matchup. I'm Kevin Gale, joined by Johnny Lazarus, and Jackson Irving in net for UMass has done everything he's been asked over the last 2 nights. Michael Hrabal, one of the seemingly irreplaceable players in Hockey East day to day with an injury in net for UMass. Jackson Irving, credit to him, in an era where players are bouncing around, he's committed to the program, he's waited patiently, and the Newbury, Mass native is showing off in his home state. Jackson
Irving is a junior, and until last night had only started in 4 games, but in those 4 games, he put up some incredible numbers. He had a 1.50 goals against and a 9.43 save percentage until last night, and now his career numbers, you look at that beautiful save he made in the first period, but now his numbers are at a 2.24 goals against and a .929 save percentage for his career. So still putting up incredible numbers, and I'm sure he's learned a lot from that second-round pick in Michael Hrabal, who has actually played every game of the season up until last night. So that's a big hit in goal, but Jackson Irving is the perfect rebound, I guess, to have a backup netminder that you could be confident in Irving.
Hrabal is in the building, but not dressed tonight. The Minutemen follow. Number 1 out of the tunnel, back out onto the ice. He faced 56 shots here last night. He was peppered from all angles. Talk about a way to knock the cobwebs off, and Max Scott is still scratching his head. How did I not score back in the first period? He had a gaping goal mouth, but Irving was fleet of foot side to side and covers a lot of space at just 6 feet tall.
You get a sense for his athleticism, and goalies like that, even if they're not always positionally sound, he's so incredibly quick in his feet and his footwork that he's never out of a play. So Irving, who likes to be aggressive at the top of his blue paint, sometimes it seems like you have the angle to beat him, but he'll recover quickly and he'll get to a second or third opportunity. So Maine now, they got to try to continue to test him with those cross-seam passes and try to get him moving a little bit more. But I got to tell you, he let in 6 last night. There's no way he's letting in nearly close to that tonight with how he's looked in the first period.
Irving working hard and working behind one of the youngest D-cores in the country. 6 in the lineup tonight. 4 of them underclassmen on the blue line for UMass. Start of the second period. Here we go. 1-0 lead for the Minutemen. Great to have you tuned in on NESN. I'm Kevin Gale with Johnny Lazarus. Always fun to be in Mullins on Friday night. We get a quick stoppage. And Johnny, you can feel the momentum for UMass. Started slow in this game, started brutally slow last night, but they have shown some fight, they have shown some physicality, and the youngsters are understanding the assignment after Greg Carvel called them out last night.
Well, they look like themselves, and one of the hardest things to do when you're playing against Maine and you're on UMass, it's like essentially playing against yourselves. It's like those September scrimmages, because Maine plays such a similar style to UMass. They stay above the puck, they chip pucks in, and they generate a lot off their forecheck, but both teams also do have pretty good amount of skill up front as well.
Carvel and Barr coach together. They've coached against each other. Barr's 5th season now at Maine. There are no secrets between these two teams. Whoever works harder, gets in the dirty areas, tends to win. Olvestad looking to tee up a shot from his fellow captain through traffic, and that one went out of play. Maine did a great job of getting bodies in front of Irving in the first period. Maine trying to take a page out of that book here in the second.
Last night, especially on that hat-trick goal for Josh Nadeau, Irving didn't even see the puck. There was a great screen in front by Thomas Friel, and the puck went right through Irving's 5-hole. Right now in the second period, UMass already coming out flying. Jack Musa with a nice little move under the triangle of a Maine defenseman, setting up the offense, but Owen Murray's shot was blocked and went out of play, setting up this offensive zone draw.
Face-off win for the Minutemen. Keenan wants it, gets it outside the circle. Del Elche trying to shake off his defender. Russell steps to it. Now a little room for Keenan. Wrist shot, stopped, and Boya covers. Nice puck movement there by UMass, and showing some good angles in on Boya, who hasn't been as good this season in net, hasn't looked as settled compared to his All-American season last year. He's bobbled some pucks. He's been a little bit hard on himself, but you get the feeling as the season goes, he's going to start turning this up another notch any day now.
Well, you're not used to seeing a goalie like Boya have a sub-900 save percentage. His career number is at a .921, and this season so far at an .893. So a game like this can hopefully get that stat up a little bit more.
Russell takes it up ice, plays it ahead to the leading scorer in the league. Aurier tried the impossible angle, stays in the zone. Maine with a chance, Jurasevich wrists it from a tough angle, and that one goes into the stands as we have a couple players tied up in front. That's Charlie Russell again. He's got his hands full.
Charlie Russell, the junior, has been in the mix all night. In the first period by the bench, he was yapping away at the Minutemen bench. Now he goes to the blue paint and he attacks the blue paint hard, trying to get right in the face of Jackson Irving. And Francesco Del Elche will take none of that. Both guys cross-checking each other a little bit, not giving either guy an ounce of room to fight with.
Ben Barr likes what he's seen from Charlie Russell. Got a lot of players who are similar to Russell in this lineup. Just 5'11", but they're scrappers. They go in the dirty areas, and it's made it very easy for Ben Barr to play with his line combos because he has a lot of interchangeable players who do a lot of things well. Think of them like Swiss Army knives.
While you want to be physical, you also got to be smart, especially knowing how UMass's power play has looked in this game. So I'm sure Coach Barr is telling them to, continue getting to the blue paint, but stay disciplined and do not take a penalty, especially in the offensive zone.
Maine trying to climb up ice here. UMass has it right back. Van Tassel hops around the check of Langlois. Out of the corner, Van Tassel. Loose puck. Now a chance for Kerr. Backhand. Interrupted by Langlois, and a kick save by Boya. Puck dropped right down into the blue paint. Nyes off his own end, has the puck on an edge. Line change coming here for Maine, down 1-0 in the second period, trying to make it 5 wins in a row and stay unblemished in Hockey East. Here's a takeaway at center ice for Miguel Marcus. Chance now for the Black Bears as Irving closes up the 5-hole. Marcus out there again, scratched against Colgate a couple weeks back. Unbelievable kid, according to his head coach, and pushing the envelope here. Holt into the corner. Long chase now for Lucas Peterson. USHL product, looking for his first collegiate goal. The freshman gathers it off the half wall. Goes outside, that's Brandon Holt, the captain. Peterson deferred the one-timer. Through the middle, Irving was down, lost his stick, somehow got back into position. Now he's got a hold of that stick and he's bailed out. Boy, that could have been scary for UMass.
That whole shift started for Maine too off a Landon Nyes turnover in the neutral zone. Landon Nye is just an 18-year-old defenseman, turned 18 earlier this season, but Coach Carvel's been working with him on limiting those mistakes. He understands that there's going to be some growing pains with a young kid, but Nye is so good and so talented. He shouldn't be making those mistakes at this point.
And Carvel says he always bounces back on the next shift. Shot from outside, another stop by Irving. Scholey went down, and UMass has the puck again. Irving has been up to the test in net, but this is an icing that'll bring it all the way back down, and Jackson Irving just collecting himself in net. He has been so fiery the last two nights and maintains the 1-0 lead here.
And now Nyes and Olvestad are caught out on a long shift. They've been on the ice for north of a minute, just off that Nyes turnover in the neutral zone. Remember, in the second period, it's a long change, so it's much harder for the defenseman to get off the ice. You got to wait till the puck's in the offensive zone to go for a change, and now these guys are caught for what could be 2 to 3 minutes.
Friel, the intended target at the top of the house, trying to win it back for the Black Bears. Soro instead plays it up top, batted through traffic. Nice block by Lacroix. When's his NIL deal coming? From the sparkling water.
Too obvious.
Too obvious. Nadeau was teed up by Galenic, got away from the check. Nestrasil, so good on his feet, but here's a giveaway. Friel, wrist shot, and a stop by Irving. Oh, he was shielded by Lipinski. I could barely see him grab the puck. He did well to hold on.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that puck was labeled top corner. It looked like that was a perfect opportunity for Friel to put that one home. Irving, I don't know how he saw it, like you said, Kevin, with that big screen in front, 41 in blue. Ooh. And Jaden Lipinski, the Calgary Flames prospect, took away the eyes of Irving, at least from our angle, but now that Irving settles the play down a little bit with that glove save, Olvestad and Nyes are finally able to go for that change, and now UMass has some fresh bodies out for the first time in a couple minutes.
Lipinski, that second line center, stands 6'4". Ben Barr has asked a lot of the freshmen and nearly helped get this game level.
He had a great game last night as well. Lipinski was in the mix. He was making plays happen. He was strong defensively, doing it all.
Maine now peppering Irving from all angles.
Poirier shoots from anywhere.
Green light every time. Kerr dancing around defenders. Maine's got it right back. Puck goes into the UMass bench. We'll freeze it with 15:24 to go in the second period. Feels like a little reset here, Johnny. Maine still looking to break through against Jackson Irving. What changes can they make to get back to the offensive intensity we saw last night?
Well, UMass is doing a really good job at boxing out in front, so Maine just got to try to win those 50-50 battles. If there is a loose puck in the blue paint, Irving has smothered most of the shots he's faced, but there have been some chances low. So if the Maine Black Bears can shoot the puck a little bit low and crash that back post and try to bang home a rebound, they're going to find themselves on the scoreboard.
Ben Barr knows what it takes to get wins here at UMass. He said the Minutemen kicked our butts here last year. Teams are built the same. We have to be willing to go into those dirty areas on the larger rink and win the battles. It is so tough to sweep on the road in this league. 3-on-2 chance here for the Black Bears. That one whizzes to the near side, and now UMass has some jump. Nestrasil can fly off the right wing, gets crossed up with Del Elche. Del Elche stays with it, evaded Scott. Del Elche trying to go help, but that puck left the zone. UMass has to retreat. 3-on-2 chance again. Scott's turn, lifts it off the glove of Irving. Big rebound collected by UMass.
Juicy rebound there for Charlie Russell to put home.
UMaine pinches, keeps it in. Russell just wide to the near side. Russell throws a check. He's got the puck right back. He is everywhere on this sheet. Looking for the cross seam pass. That one goes wide. Irving back into position. Good battle brewing behind the cage. UMass skates away.
Maine's buzzing right now. The Minutemen are starting to weather a storm here a little bit.
Galenic lost his stick. Felt like a 5-on-4 for a moment as Poirier looked a little slow getting off the ice for Maine. We'll monitor that. Top scorer may not be 100%. Whistle at neutral ice. That'll bring a face-off right in front of the UMass bench.
Wasn't sure if that was going to be a too many men call on the Minutemen, but it looks like it was an offside. Another look at that save by Irving, right into the glove. You rarely see a rebound that juicy. Charlie Russell, if he was almost later, he got there like too quick, but that's how hard he works. Russell's been in the blue paint all night so far tonight.
Peterson was waiting at the back door. '06 birth year, Johnny. Man, these kids are young.
So weird to think. 14 years old during COVID. Imagine that.
Icing called. UMass fans don't like it.
A big offensive zone draw here, though, for the Minutemen. They haven't had many O-zone starts in this period. It feels like they've been in their defensive end for the first 6 minutes and 12 seconds. So Maine's got to bear down, not allow the tired legs to get the best of them, and UMass has got to start to get back on their forecheck and start to maintain some offensive zone pressure.
Maine trying to make it back-to-back sweeps in Hockey East against BU and UMass. Very tough to do, especially when you have to outscore the electrifying BU offense like they did up at Alphon last weekend. Kyle Yegorov just doesn't quite look settled in net for BU this season. Surprising development. He was pulled in that series. Maine will do that to you. They'll wear you down and they'll keep coming in waves. Good joust near center ice. Offsides. Let's step aside. 13:20 to go in the second period. UMass still hanging on to that 1-0 lead over number 6 Maine. Maine out shooting UMass 21-11, but the Minutemen have a 1-0 lead here in the second period. Friday night, Hockey East on Nesson. It's a top 15 matchup. UMass trying to bounce back from a lopsided 6-2 loss last night. Jackson Irving has been outstanding in net. What can Greg Carville compliment his team on most here through the first half of the game? UMass
has done a much better job at not allowing any odd man chances against. Last night, Maine had a couple of 2-on-1 opportunities. They were just outskating the Minutemen all over the ice, but UMass has done a much better job with their F3 and just playing a more responsible game with angling and staying above the puck, and that's something that's such an important detail in college hockey. You gotta be above the puck, and when I say that, I mean having guys not dive bomb and have the other players go past them for a 3-on-2, 4-on-3, those kind of rushes. Such a young team for UMass, 11th youngest in the country. Greg Carville said it would take some time to understand the systems, understand the assignments. You can't go rogue, and you can't cheat the game. Both of these coaches love to say that, and really what they mean is you've got to work hard in every little detail. Raw scoring talent won't be enough at this level. I remember our first day here, Greg Carville's first day as the head coach of UMass. He showed us video from the previous year, and the main teaching lesson of that video was checking forward. Every time a forward lunged at a player that had the puck that went by them, he'd stop it and go, checking forward, boom, checking forward, boom, checking forward. It was crazy. But Carv will be the first to tell you, I can show you videos all summer, but it's all different when you get out there yourself. Sholey tried to shovel it in front. Van Tassel vacuumed it up, and he gets tripped. Power play coming for UMass. Oh, and a little late action here. Teams chirping at each other again. This one's getting testy on Friday night. My guess is that the Maine Black Bears were telling Van Tassel to stay on your feet, but that's a blatant trip by Miguel Marcus, the freshman. Another offensive zone stick penalty. Van Tassel trying to get around him and start the breakout, and he's not afraid to yap away either. Nick Van Tassel is one of those Jersey guys that could really let the opponent hear it, but that's a blatant call. You'll see another look. Van Tassel trying to go outside, inside, and Marcus gets his skate on Van Tassel's skate. So it's not one of those stick penalties. It's just an unfortunate tangle up between two skates. But nonetheless, still a call, and you could kind of hear Marcus in the background having a little word for the officials. Not going to say what he was saying. Ben Barr said years ago he may have worried about a kid like that adjusting at this level. He has full faith in him now as Del Elche gets stoned, nearly his second power play goal of the game. Marcus got one late last night for the Black Bears too. He was able to put the 6th goal home, and Ben Barr actually did mention that he did healthy scratch Miguel Marcus earlier a few weeks ago, just to not punish a kid, but also just let them watch the game, right? He's a freshman coming over from the CHL, adjusting to the college hockey style of play, and sometimes when a kid is able to sit in the stands and watch, you do learn a little bit from that. Learned from his mistakes and making amends here on the road against UMass. Minutemen 1 for 2 on the power play. Trying to hand Maine its first loss of the Hockey East season. Nobody's done it yet. Face-off win for the Minutemen. Yenchko surveying options.
Plays it to the middle and turned right over. Good stick by Will Jarrois. Did I do it right?
Read. Yeah, as good as you're gonna do, Kev.
No parlez-vous français. Back in come the Minutemen. Jack Galenic already with an assist in this game. Scored his first goal last night, the Hopkinton, Mass native. For Greg Carvel, he said, I don't get a lot of Boston area players. Down low, Nestrasil got stoned by Boya. Good positioning again by the All-American. Didn't look like much, but took away the chance at the doorstep. High fluttering puck stays on the rink. A gift to UMass. Chance for Yenchko, off a deflection, and Boya reels it in. Oh, a crisper pass that wasn't deflected might have been golden for Yenchko.
Hard for Nestrasil to settle that puck down too. He knocked it out of midair and tried to feed Yenchko for that one-timer. Yenchko looking to go across the crease almost for a backdoor pass to Jack Musa, and actually almost took a fortuitous bounce off the defensive stick and went 5-0 on Boya, but Alvin Boya was able to recover.
So many offensive options for UMass. 15 forwards have played this season, the most depth that Greg Carvel's ever had. Wave after wave of scores on the power play as well. Maine fires it all the way down to Jackson Irving. Less than a minute to go on this UMass power play, still leading by 1.
The Minutemen haven't gotten many quality looks since their first goal, which also came right off of an offensive zone faceoff. So it's been a little hard for the Minutemen to get set up, but now they'll have a 5-on-3 opportunity as the stick is slashed out of Mikey D'Angelo's hands.
D'Angelo drew it, and now a golden opportunity for the Minutemen.
Josh Nadeau going to the box, so now the Minutemen will have 45 seconds of a 5-on-3 opportunity. The Maine Black Bears were able to capitalize last night on their 5-on-3 as we get another look at the top of your screen. D'Angelo tries to chip it by Nadeau and skate into it, but Nadeau comes down with 2 hands chopping at a tree on Mikey D'Angelo. Now he's gonna have to sit for 2 minutes.
Costly loss for Maine. One of the best players in the league goes away for 2. Now a 5-on-3 advantage for UMass. Jurasevich, Holt out there giving instructions to Owen Fowler, the UMass Lowell transfer. Scored 10 goals last year for the Black Bears. He goes to the draw, and a win for Maine. Nicely done by Fowler, but the Black Bears can't exit. Del Elche at the top. Jack Musa played it down low, swept behind the cage. Here come the Minutemen. Del Elche, great feed. Musa, big rebound, and another stop by Boya. That one goes wide. Nestrasil had a gift, couldn't finish.
Oh my God.
Still 5-on-3. Yenchko, now a wraparound chance, denied, but Nestrasil. Good pass in front. Galenic gets back to his feet. Musa to Del Elche, cross ice, score! Daniel Yenchko, another power play goal for UMass. 2-0 Minutemen.
A beautiful 5-on-3 setup for the Minutemen. They have Nestrasil and Yenchko playing below the goal line to keep the Maine PKers honest. Yenchko finds a chance to then step above the goal line once the puck movement is so quick and so crisp, and a perfect backdoor pass from Del Elche. Yenchko doesn't get a whole lot on it, but he's able to beat the sprawling Boya upstairs. What a beautiful tic-tac-toe passing play by the Minutemen.
The call on the ice is a good goal. We're going to check to see if the puck went in before the penalty expired. On the ice we had it 5-on-4. We're going to go confirm that right now.
All right, so this is a key development to see if the power play time will continue for UMass. This could be bad luck if the goal was scored 5-on-4. That means we'd go back to 5-on-5.
And if it was scored at 5-on-3, the Minutemen will have the Black Bears completely on their heels. I mean, that power play setup was beautiful. You could tell the Minutemen work on 5-on-3 a lot. To have the movement up top between Musa and Del Elche, and then down low you have Galenic right in the back door. You have Nestrasil and Yenchko below the goal line. Galenic also had a wide open net just seconds before that. Then Nestrasil on the rebound puts it right above the crossbar. But we're getting another look at the timing, and it looks like there will be 1 second left on the 5-on-3. So the Minutemen will have 1:16 left of 5-on-4 after the officials make this announcement. That's according to the bug on the TV, at least. the in-arena clock, maybe it's different, but I think
trust
it is
our
synced.
crew,
I
Johnny.
agree.
Do you?
I agree. But they're checking every source here.
This would be a best case scenario for UMass.
Oh, yeah.
Still 1:16 showing on the power play clock. And here is Walker Holton with the call.
After review, there's 1 second remaining on the penalty. Play will be 5 on 4.
More power play time for UMass. After Daniel Yenchko nets his second of the season, he has been such a good weapon on the power play this season.
What a feed by Francesco Del Elche as well. And a big thing too, Kevin, while the officials are reviewing that, the top power play unit gets a minute of rest as we get another look from left to right. Del Elche, who's got a dangerous shot, so that keeps the Black Bears PK honest, right? You don't want to just step out of the way of Del Elche shooting, but that opens up Yenchko wide open back door.
Del Elche and Musa get the assists. It's a 2-point night for Francesco Del Elche. That power play unit is clicking on all cylinders, and more time to make it 3-0 for UMass.
Now the Minutemen got to get set up and hurry up for this 5 on 4. They only got a minute to go, and a 3-0 lead would be huge here in the second period.
This would be a total reversal of fortunes from last night when Maine went up 3-0 early in the second period. That was lights out at Mullins. This old barn is rocking tonight.
Really
Great
impressed.
atmosphere on Friday.
Really impressed with the crowd and really impressed by that 5 on 3. That puck movement was gorgeous.
Covered up by Boya. We've hit the halfway mark in regulation. 32 seconds to go on the UMass man advantage, and 7 of the last 8 games, UMass has found the back of the net on the power play. Now you can see why Greg Carville said, I think this unit might be better than last year.
Also 10 minutes remaining in the second period. It feels like a lot more time has gotten by in this middle frame. There's a lot of hockey left here for Maine to turn the tides.
Another face-off win for the Minutemen. Van Tassel. Crisscrossing with O'Neal. Second unit out there. Keenan feeds him. That's wide. Hard kick all the way around and down. Keenan has to chase.
That's most likely going to do it for this power play. So UMass, if they get a chance, they got to get another defenseman on the ice. They got 10 seconds left. Look for the change right here.
Tassel sweeps it in on the backhand. Holt with it for Maine. We're back to 5 on 5. Mission accomplished for UMass. Now 2 for 4 on the man advantage. Bouncing puck back behind the cage. Russell, hardest worker on the ice for Maine. Nadeau lost out. Tried to deke around Klechka. The UMass youngster had his number.
Nadeau was trying to dance at the blue line.
Out of the zone. UMass still has it. Good puck possession in the second period for UMass.
This is where you ask yourselves, where was this last night? We're seeing a completely different UMass team right now on Friday night, where last night they had none of this to show.
In UMass's defense, they stuck around through much of the first period, but a withering blow back-to-back, a goal and then a shorty, put them down 2-0 going into the room, and then Maine skated away. Sholey got paddled away by Jackson Irving, who's been protected well after that 5-on-3 time. Down deep for Sholey, trying to outwork Justin Kerr. Popped up toward the blue line and out. A giveaway. Up comes Owen Murray, the captain. Blocked. Nice back check there by Usoro, freshman from Quebec. Skating in just his 4th career game. Van Tassel, the junior, showing some of his upperclassmen experience tonight.
His confidence has grown so much from sophomore to junior year. He's got a much better opportunity playing top 6 minutes tonight. He's on the 3rd line, but he's really been plugged anywhere in the lineup so far this year.
3rd line right wing, centered by another freshman. So much youth up the middle for UMass this season. Puck whizzes out of play. We'll freeze it with 7:37 to go in the second period. UMass has doubled up the lead on the man advantage. 2-0 cushion for the Minutemen. This is picture perfect, teeing up Daniel Yenchko. Eastern Propane and Oil is proud to partner with Hockey East to support youth hockey throughout New England. Visit HockeyEastOnline.com to get your youth team feature on social media and a chance to win Hockey East tickets. They are gassing up the Minutemen tonight here at the Mullins Center. 2-0 lead over number 6 Maine, unblemished in Hockey East play this season. It is always great to see. Couple former teammates on the bench face off in league play. Greg Carville from UMass joked with us earlier this week, Johnny, I don't have much of a coaching tree, but Ben Barr is the key branch on that tree. I love what he's done at Maine. I just wish he wasn't in our league.
It's always fun to coach against a guy that you have mutual respect for, and got to shout out Jared DeMichael as well, the assistant coach at Michigan State, who will one day be a head coach in college hockey, and James Marcoux. They were all here when I was here that freshman year when the new coaching staff came in. James Marcoux is now with Harvard as an assistant coach. So Greg Carville's staff does continue to grow. Obviously the staff here, Nolan Bukowski and Tommy Upton also doing an incredible job stepping in.
Ben Barr, 5 years an associate head coach under Greg Carville from 2016 to 2021. They went to back-to-back Frozen Fours and national championship games together. Won it all in 2021, and that's the legacy that remains here with the banner hanging from the Mullins Center ceiling. Ben Barr trying to hang his own banner, a third for Maine. A couple titles for the Black Bears back in the 90s. Has put that program back on top of Hockey East, defending tournament champs. Now Poirier, one of the best young explorers in the sport, ran out of space, nearly threaded it in. Oh, Irving made the save without looking. Better lucky than good. And Poirier missed a cross-ice pass.
How did Langlois miss that?
Maine can't believe it. Poirier through traffic right back at him. Good battle in front between Russell and Keenan. Irving was completely turned around as Boya has to settle his own puck. Irving never saw it. He's looking back at the student section, tapping the pipes, thanking his lucky stars.
First of all, the 5'8" Justin Poirier to get the puck on goal with Larry Keenan at 6'4", right on his back. Another look at this chance. The puck is sitting right in the blue paint, and Langlois tries to toe drag around the leg of Irving and somehow isn't able to squeeze it by. That puck is just sitting there, and it hits the blocker as Irving's butt is to Langlois.
And now we're having a review. Our officials think a puck may have crossed the goal line.
I don't think so. From the angles we saw, it seems like that puck just hits the blocker of Irving. Langlois, I understand why he's trying to caress it and get it around Irving, but you've got to just jam that home. It's sitting right there. Perfect camera angle here, too. It's right in between the legs of Irving. Russell poking at it. Then Langlois tries to toe drag it, and not even close. That's not even close. That's an easy call for the officials to make.
Looked like Irving was just bringing his blocker hand down to brace himself and look back behind the cage, and that turned out to be the perfect spot.
Insane, insane. We've seen some crazy misses tonight. Nestor still on one end, even though he missed the net, it wasn't a save. But then Langlois, if you're sitting there on the main bench, oh, that one stings.
Puck has to completely cross the goal line to count. And that is a great view from upstairs, thanks to our production crew here at UMass.
You're going to be seeing that highlight all night long across social media. Jackson Irving is actually known for those highlight reel saves. Last year, he made like a behind-the-back glove save, which was sick. But what a performance he's putting on tonight. 24 saves.
And does a great job between plays. Just centers himself, gets in that crouch, looks down at the blue paint.
He's probably asking himself, how the heck did I do that?
Have a night, Jackson Irving.
You can feel Maine starting to push, though. They've gotten some great chances. Poirier, with the amount of chances he's had tonight, you got to think he's due for one also. Justin Poirier is as advertised. A guy who has 9 goals in 9 games, not including this one tonight. This is the 10th game, but he's dangerous everywhere.
Poirier is not just a sniper either. He's undersized. He goes down in the dirty areas. He finds a way to create chances no matter what.
He's a bulldog.
Perfect Maine Black Bear. That's why Ben Barr brought him up north. Both these coaches talked about going way outside their footprints to find the best talent. They've been great destinations for international players. So much young talent on this ice. More than 20 freshmen factoring in to this Thursday, Friday tilt. Maine trying to make it back-to-back weekend sweeps against BU and UMass. Minutemen trying to get back on the front foot after dropping 2 in a row. Less than 6.5 to go in the second period. I'm Kevin Gale with Johnny Lazarus. Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. And another stop for Jackson Irving. Just call it Friday Night Jackson Irving.
He's feeling himself. Jackson Irving putting on an absolute show right now, and the more he sees the puck, the more confident he gets. 25 saves tonight. He made 48 saves last night. My math isn't the best, but at this pace, he might be going for 100 over the weekend. Probably doesn't add up, but let's pretend it does.
Michael Robel just watching in street clothes, tallest goalie in D1. Watches a guy 7 inches shorter than him fill up the blue paint tonight. Maine's got it off the face-off. Excuse me, UMass has it off the face-off. Sent up high by Klechka. Trying to leg it out around Jurasevich. Frank Jurasevich, part of this D-corps, blocks leader for Maine. Does a lot of the dirty work for the Black Bears. Puck wedged up against the back wall. Klechka bumping with Jurasevich. Owen Fowler's got it out of there clean. Pesky player, missed all of the 23-24 season after surgery at UMass Lowell. Found a new lease on the game. Tewksbury, Mass native, now playing for Maine. But his Black Bears are down 2-0 on the road here at UMass. What a bounce back by the Minutemen. Dropped one at home. 6-2 against Maine last night. They have control in the second period on Friday Night Hockey East. Stay up to date on the latest news and scores from across the league by following @hockey_east on X and Instagram. Plus, you can visit HockeyEastOnline.com for scores, stats, watch links, and ticket information for all Hockey East games. We are into the month of November, a long winter season ahead in Hockey East. Tons of parity across this league. We've got a top 15 matchup that's been tightly contested tonight. 2-0 advantage for UMass at home against Maine. Throw out the rankings early in the season, Johnny. It's hard to tell who's doing what, but the key is on any given night in Hockey East, it's going to be a war and it's going to be close.
The hardest thing to do in Hockey East as well is sweep the weekend. We saw Maine with a controlling, dominating win last night, and now the script has flipped here tonight, although there is still plenty of time to play here in this game.
See another great example of that tonight. Merrimack has a 2-1 lead at Aganis on the road at BU. The struggles continue for the Terriers as Boya punches that one into the corner. BC near the bottom of the league and upstart Northeastern near the top. They are flipping the standings here through the first month plus of the season. Van Tassel now with a chance. Lost out and a follow-up goal! Olvestad! First goal of the season for the senior from Sweden, Lucas Olvestad. 3-0 UMass.
And he throws the monkey off his back as he makes his way down the line. Lucas Olvestad starts this whole entire play, actually making the defensive play, breaking up a 2-on-1, and then he follows up Nick Van Tassel's one-on-one attempt and wastes no time. As soon as he touches it in the slot, a rolling puck, he doesn't try to settle it. He just catches Boya off guard and fires it high above the glove, but Olvestad doing it on both ends of the ice, and that's what he's known for. The responsible defensive play, following it up offensively, and that's a huge 3-0 lead for the Minutemen.
Great poke check by Loic Usoro. Popped the puck free, went to the body, and then out of nowhere, Olvestad came crashing through for a wide open look. Olvestad, blocks leader on this team, wearing a letter. He's done the dirty work, and he's finally been rewarded with a goal. 3-0 UMass. Maine has had chance after chance. Irving has been dancing with the devil in net. Puck left the zone. Yet it's all UMass on the scoreboard. This is something, Johnny.
Vaslav Nestrasil also looks like he's limping a bit. He just got slashed in the back of the leg by Jeremy Langlois. Nestrasil has kind of been, after the whistles, getting in the mix a little bit tonight.
Nestrasil, excellent hockey sense, plays in all 3 zones. He's not afraid to mix it up. Can't blame him. He's 6'6", he can handle himself. Somehow, some way, Greg Carvel says his stick skills and his reach actually sneak up on opponents. Book's not out on him yet.
He's got it all. That's why he's a first-round pick.
They love that size, they love that length, and he can move for a big man. Little trip there. Owen Fowler goes down in a heap. Maine's got it back, and here goes Larry Keenan, buzzing up ice. Boya makes the easy stop. Outnumbered, but Keenan giving the fans something to cheer about. They are so excited about this bounce back from UMass.
It's the right play, too. Larry Keenan could have tried to pull up and make a pass, but it would have been a force. It seemed like it was a 3-on-1 at the start when Keenan got the puck, but credit to Maine for back-checking hard and turning it into what looked like more of a 3-on-3. So smart play there by Keenan to just try to put the puck on net and see what could happen. But the All-American goalie on the other side, Boya, smothering it up. Another look, Keenan tries to use the defenseman as a screen, but Boya right at the top of his crease doesn't allow any second opportunity.
Boya backing up his young D-core. Earned his first career shutout here back in February of 2024. Not the case here tonight. UMaine has a long uphill climb, trying to start with a goal. Poirier stopped by Irving. Scattered again on the ice. Hand pass, that freezes it. Maine denied again.
Kevin, I think Charlie Lieberman, the defenseman, actually blocked this shot. He sacrificed his body right in front of his netminder with the most dangerous goal scorer on the ice, and Justin Poirier coming right down Broadway untouched. A perfect 3-on-2 rush for the Black Bears, but look at UMass just boxing out, throwing their body on the line to make sure that puck doesn't go anywhere near Jackson Irving.
Irving tapping Lucas Olvestad on the back with his stick. Loves the work by his defenseman in this game.
Surprised Poirier waited so long with his quick release. I thought for sure he was going to rip it as soon as he touched the hash marks.
That one looked destined for the back of the net. Poirier with 9 goals this season. Leader in Hockey East, stymied tonight. Hockey East Rookie of the Month in October. That was an easy selection. Co-led the entire league with 7 goals through the first month. Nestrasil frees up Musa. Nice pull around the cage. Drop pass, backside, and Galanic couldn't bury it. That was really good by Musa.
Kucherov-esque play by Jack Musa, trying to go across the body behind the net on the short side.
Nearly the second time in this period, Maine's been caught napping with a trailer as Russell gets bowled over by Musa. Spengler Cup invite, first ever time a UMass player is going to represent Team USA in Davos, Switzerland. A great reward for an undrafted player, and nice to see UMass allowing it. Now, he won't miss any UMass games, but there's some teams, some good ones, Johnny, in the Midwest who are not sending their players overseas for Team USA.
What an awesome showcase that'll be. And we actually asked Greg Carvel about it earlier this week during his media availability. Carvel raved about the opportunity for some of these kids to showcase themselves. The kids who weren't drafted in the NHL now get that exposure that the World Junior kids get. And if I may, I'd like to take a second just to talk about what Carvel said, that there's so many good players in college hockey. You can take 5, 6, or even 7 of these teams because there's so much talent. But for a kid like Jack Musa to get this chance, it's awesome to see.
Maine looking for an answer here. Another scrum in front of the net. Irving out of position. Puck still loose. Tries to cover. And finally the whistle. Look at all those bodies stacked up in the crease.
The Minutemen left Jackson Irving out to dry last night, and I promise you, that was talked about going into tonight's game. We got to do everything to protect our goaltender, and just look how tight they are to the net. 4 white jerseys around the net, not letting Maine get the upper hand. As much as Gerwa's trying to dig at it, you got 5 guys in the picture, 5 white players, all in the blue paint. You love to see that if you're Coach Carvel.
Irving doing everything he can to pick up just his 3rd career win in his 3rd season with UMass. Face-off victory for the Minutemen, taking advantage at the draw, 31-24 advantage. Waning minutes of the second period. It's been all UMass. And Tassel pushed by Lipinski. Tries to press it back out to the point, leaves the zone.
I'll tell you, it doesn't feel like a 3-0 game. Maine's played really solid. The power play is the big difference right now. 5-on-5, though, this game's only 1-0.
UMass has scored twice in the second period. Maine's left a couple goals out there and a penalty coming. Van Tassel down in a heap. Lucas Peterson had to be separated for Maine.
That's another penalty drawn by Nick Van Tassel, a guy who just gets the puck in deep and goes to work. Lucas Peterson almost takes his legs out, it looks like, as Van Tassel's trying to forecheck. It's hard to stop a guy like Nick Van Tassel, who's 6'5", but Peterson at 5'10", just doing whatever he can to slow him down.
Peterson goes away, 2-minute interference call. And UMass has a chance to potentially slam the door here before the second intermission.
On the left of your screen, 22 just trying to get behind Peterson, and he uses his stick to almost shield off Van Tassel. Van Tassel goes down and looks to be in a lot of pain, but Peterson just got to go back for the puck on that sequence.
Van Tassel skated off under his own strength. Peterson, the freshman, stuck watching from the sin bin.
That's a couple freshmen now who've taken penalties for Maine.
5th penalty on Maine. Already 2 power play goals for UMass. Chance to go up 4. First unit out there. 4 outstanding scores. Musa. Lulling Maine to sleep. Del Elche. He's got it again. Galanic. Bounding puck up into the mesh, out of play.
The Maine penalty killers know exactly what UMass wants to do. They want to find Yenchko, who's creeping off to the side for that one-timer. The Black Bears active sticks in the middle, super aggressive, not allowing any of those cross-seam passes after they saw Yenchko score one on the 5-on-3.
UMass scored with 1 second left on a 5-on-3 earlier in this period, gobbled up some more power play time, drained the resources of Maine. They've really taxed this PK unit tonight. Good battle for the face-off. Holt gets away. Scored last night in that 4-goal win by Maine. Black Bears now trying to avoid a 4-goal deficit of their own. Final minute in the second period. Minutemen regather in the offensive zone. Yenchko. Saucers one across the ice. Galanic tried to work it down low. Musa, cross ice, loose puck, shot and a save by Boya. Yenchko uncorked a big one in the slot.
If that pass got through to Yenchko, he was teeing that thing up top glove. He was waiting for it with his tongue out like Michael Jordan, just licking his chops. Another great opportunity for Daniel Yenchko. We'll get another look here. They try to do that cross-seam pass. Galanic bobbles it a little bit, but Jack Musa is able to find this puck in a tight space. Tries to saucer it over Holt, but it hits the shaft of Holt's stick, and then Yenchko has no real angle there as Boya cuts him off.
Yenchko had a big follow-through, looking for his second power play tally of the night. UMass has it again. Del Elche so clean with it on the power play. Steps in. Musa back to him. Yenchko's turn. Fires. Boya got the stop. Good clean look after the screen. Nestrasil sort of angled away.
Good idea by Yenchko too. He's got Vaslav Nestrasil at 6'6", taking away the eyes of Albin Boya. Also knowing there's only 13 seconds left in the period, so good game management there. You're not going to get many other looks here in the final 13 seconds or so, so you got to get the puck on the net as much as you can.
Boya knows what to do in this league. Played nearly 2,300 minutes last year, most among Hockey East goalies. Second best goals against, behind only Jacob Fowler, now in the AHL with Montreal. Maine finally wins a draw. This will kill some time on the PK. Fowler around Nestrasil. Nice handles into the zone. Bounces a pass, and Jurasevic was denied. Blocker stopped by Jackson Irving. That takes us to the second intermission, and the Minutemen fans bounce to their feet. Round of applause after UMass scores twice in the second frame to make it 3-0, and they will have 24 seconds more in power play time when we come back in the third. Johnny.
Vaslav Nestrasil again, yapping with Owen Fowler. Jackson Irving, though, you got to give this kid credit again in goal, putting on quite the performance. He's got 29 saves, and we're not even in the third period. Still a third of the game to go, and Irving is having quite the response. But Ben Barr right now is giving the referees an earful before he goes to the locker room.
That's as heated as we've seen Ben Barr all season long. Oh, he got his money's worth shouting at Walker Holton and Michael Zyla. Minutemen leave the sheet after Jenshko scores on the power play, and Olvestad makes it a 3-0 lead in the second. Jackson Irving putting on a show. He's got 29 saves in net. Big lead for UMass. They'll try to slam the door when we come back in the third. You're watching Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. Welcome to the Boston Children's Hospital intermission. Friday Night Hockey East on NESN. It is all UMass, the number 13 team in the country, with a 3-0 lead over number 6 Maine as we get set for the start of the third period. Time to learn more about UMass alum Thor Bjorn, who made the jump from Rhode Island to UMass earlier this week to assume sport oversight duties over UMass football. Here's more from the introductory press conference.
Sure. I think again, I can't emphasize the move to the MAC. I mean, that's a big move, and that's a big statement, and that's a statement that says football is important. That's a football move. So it starts with that. And when I got that phone call from him, when the decision was made, I still remember where I was sitting in my house, and I just thought, wow, that's a bold move. I think it's great. And then when he starts talking about some of the investments around the stadium, again, I wasn't kidding when I said I walked around the stadium, and it's definitely different than it was when I played here, sure. But it brings back great memories. And but it needs some work, right? So when he shared with me some of the vision about what that work can be and it's going to look like, and I get to be part of that development and so forth, that was exciting, because that's going to make another significant move to this program. It needs to be done. NIL support, another thing that's going to be really important, whether people like it or don't like it. It's critically important to the success of all athletics programs now. So as we've all navigated that for a couple of years, and under the new House settlements, it's different and in some ways better. I think that gives us a lot more flexibility. So when he talked through some of the specifics with that, I realized, again, significant investment in vision there. Vision is important, but then deliverables are even more important. And I think that's what the comfort level that I got and the things that he shared with me that got me really fired up and really excited. So, I think that everything's teed up to have a lot of fun and see some great success here. I was very fortunate to be part of a lot. Yeah, FCS, I get it. A lot of great championships throughout my career here. So it's there, it's doable. And again, all the confidence in the world to go out for Joe and his team to go out and his staff to go out and evaluate players and get them here. It's a great place to sell to young men to be part of.
And in terms of improving the product on the field, is that the area you think you'll be the most helpful in terms of NIL and acquiring talent?
No. I think my job is to work with Joe from an administrative side, from a development side, work with Ryan as it relates to every administrative aspect to this program. I can certainly help and be part of that, but they're the experts in that area. My job is to be supportive and advocacy. What does that mean? It means looking at budgets. It means thinking creatively. It means thinking about scheduling, looking at ways that we can come up with significant maybe changes in how we conduct ourselves and our program, but not as it relates to calling plays. You happy about that, Coach? Not as it relates to picking out a recruit. Am I going to meet with every recruit if as part of this? Absolutely, because that's the part of my job that I love. I get to sell something I believe in, and there's something that when you can answer those questions to parents and kids and be able to say what my experience has been like, that's an important piece for me, and I hope that we can deliver on that.
Welcome back to the Boston Children's Hospital intermission. Friday night hockey East on Nesson. UMass with a 3-0 lead over Maine in a top 15 matchup. It was a 1-0 lead after the first, and then UMass went wild in the second. It started with Daniel Yenchko on the power play. Minutemen have looked sharp on the man advantage.
The power play has been the biggest difference in this game outside of Jackson Irving, who's been an absolute stud in the blue paint for the Minutemen, but UMass's skill was on full display in that middle frame as you get a look of Jack Musa's Kucherov S pass and Galanic, who couldn't finish it. But this was the biggest story of that second period. Langlois with a wide open cage, and Irving just gets so lucky with the blocker stop to keep his S word. I will not say that word because I don't want a broadcaster's jinx. But oh my God, this game has been wildly entertaining, and the 3-0 score does not tell the story of how tight this game really is.
Look at Olvestad joining the play late, buries it for his first of the season. He had been working hard to earn that. Everything going UMass's way. What a response after last night's loss. Maine bullied the Minutemen on this ice sheet. Tonight, Johnny, completely different story. Minutemen are up to the test.
Well, UMass has had 5 power play opportunities, and it's weird because the first 2 power plays of this game came in the first 10 minutes, and that was for Maine. UMass has had the last 5 straight opportunities on a man advantage. So Ben Barr was giving the officials an earful before he went to the dressing room for the second intermission. You got to imagine that Maine will have at least one more look at the man advantage, but they have not been able to capitalize so far tonight.
Frustration boiling over for the normally reserved Maine Black Bears head coach. That's how tough it is on Friday night in Hockey East. UMass with a 3-0 lead, trying to take it home in the third when we come back to Amherst. "40 minutes gone, 3-0 lead for UMass over Maine in a top 15 matchup. Friday night Hockey East on Nesson. 2 programs who know the McCarrs. That name carries a lot of weight, not just at UMass, but at Maine as well. Cale McCarr, one of the best players ever in Hockey East. Came through UMass, his brother Taylor followed suit. The cupboard was pretty full of talent at that time, so Taylor moved on to UMaine, and boy, was that a great decision. Had a breakout season, earned the opportunity to join his brother in the NHL on the same ice in San Jose with the Avalanche for the first time, and how cool is that picture for the McCarr family?
What an awesome moment, what an awesome picture. 2 incredible kids. I got to play alongside Cale for a semester here at UMass. I didn't get to know Taylor too well as a person, but watched his games over his 3 years here at UMass and last year at Maine. Coach Carville understood his decision to want to transfer and get a better opportunity for himself, and he had a phenomenal senior season under Coach Ben Barr in Maine. And as you get a look at that Cale McCarr, Hobie Baker banner that will live in the Mullen Center forever, but an incredible family, and I got to imagine the McCarr parents being in the building for that moment, their sense of pride to watch their 2 sons skate together in the NHL. Not many parents get to live out that dream, so really happy for the McCarrs, and hopefully more brothers to come through both programs get the chance to do that.
Greg Carville told us frankly earlier this week when Taylor came into his office to discuss it, he said, I think that's a great idea. I really wish you the best. And maybe most emotionally for Carv, he said after that NHL debut, Taylor responded to his text, said thank you for everything, appreciated his time at UMass, and helped him get to the highest level of the sport, where his brother Cale, by the way, has quickly become one of the greatest defensemen of all time. A couple Norris trophies already in his cupboard. Third period underway here in Amherst. 3-0 lead for the Minutemen. What a response after losing by 4 goals here at home last night. They were bullied, they were outworked. Craig Carville was in and out of his post-game press conference in 2.5 minutes. Message received. Minutemen have answered the bell.
The thing about the Minutemen tonight, too, is 2 goals coming from defensemen. Olvestad, his first of the year. Del Elche, obviously known for his offense, but that's how you need people to step up.
Maine will take a goal from anywhere, but still can't solve the puzzle of Jackson Irving, who just picked up his 30th save of the night. This is just his 3rd start in this calendar year. Lightly used, waiting behind Michael Hrabal, who is a great international talent from Czechia, unavailable day-to-day with an injury. But man, talk about a confidence boost for UMass going forward. They have an awesome option waiting in the wings with Jackson Irving.
A great kid, too. Jackson Irving comes every day to practice, to work, knowing he might not even get an opportunity to play. So really cool to see him seize this moment. But also, I got to say, Justin Poirier had his 6th shot on goal of the night. He's got 5 through 2 periods, the most dangerous goal scorer on the ice amongst both teams. Looked up at the sky and just has to question himself, what else can I do to beat this kid tonight?
Poirier has had some great A's from a whole lot of angles, unafraid to shoot. Ben Barr said he's been looking for more work from him away from the puck. That's where the buy-in has to be key for all the outstanding freshman talent from both of these teams. It's an ongoing project. Still early in the campaign, people don't realize how long this college hockey season goes and how important the long weeks of practice are between games.
That's why college hockey is so important and so crucial for development, because you get all that practice time, so much video and time spent in the weight room to just become not only a better hockey player, but a more knowledgeable player and person. You learn so much just going to a university like Maine, like UMass, where you have all these incredible resources that you can use every single day. There are kids who go to the rink at 9 a.m. and skate before practice, before class. And they're back in the gym at noon and back on the ice at 3. It's incredible what college hockey can do to some of these kids.
Collegiate hockey has become the prime destination for future NHL talent, especially now with CHL talent. Former pros now with the option to join collegiate hockey. Some heads have been scratched about if that's the right choice for the sport, but Ben Barr's a great example at Maine. He said, look, this is the new world we live in. We have to find our own advantages. Orono, always a tough place to get recruits to come visit, but man, once you get them on campus, they start to buy in with the energy and the support from that fan base. Maine testing Irving from all angles, and a delayed penalty coming against the Minutemen.
Looks like Larry Keenan going off for a hook. His 2nd penalty of the night. He's been so good all night defensively and chipping in a little bit offensively as well, but a crucial time to take a penalty here early in the 3rd period. Now Maine gets their first power play chance in the first 10 minutes of this game, and they have a chance to get themselves back in this game.
Boy, those first 10 minutes were dominated by Maine. Couple power plays, couldn't convert, had a 7-0 shot advantage. And since then, all UMass all the time. And it's happened on special teams with 2 UMass power play goals.
The Black Bears send out their 2nd unit to start this power play because the top guys were just on the ice for a bit. But look for a quick whistle to get Ben Barr's top unit out there as soon as he can.
Another face-off win for UMass, 10th best in Hockey East win and draws this season. They've dominated at the dot, now 35-27 the lead.
Delanek also had taken north of 20 face-offs so far tonight. He was 13 and 14 after 2 periods at 48%.
Good feed to the middle. Russell tried to play it on the backhand. Captain Olvestad, who had a goal in the 2nd period, knocks it out of the air. Puck will come out of the zone.
Justin Poirier looks eager to get off the Maine bench right now. He wants to get his look on the power play. Poirier, obviously a guy right now who's a goal per game, 9 and 9. Has had so many chances tonight, but hasn't been able to beat Irving. The faceoff looks like it might be coming outside.
Olvestad taking charge. Denver transfer, experienced that 2024 national championship. He has earned the most ice time since day 1, joining Greg Carvel's program here in Amherst. He said the highest praise, Johnny, he is UMass.
He's a horse. He's tough, he's strong, he's fast, he does everything. He's the perfect hockey player.
Bumped around by UMass off their own end. Trying to get that puck free, won't happen this time. This PK unit has looked sharp to start this 4-on-5.
And to no surprise, it's Olvestad who gets the clear. The right reads, guys know where they're supposed to be, and they're executing.
Another successful clear and a golf clap from the Mullins faithful.
That is what it sounded like.
They appreciate good hockey. I love that when you go up to NHL games in Canada, you go to Montreal. They applaud every little detail. They are students of the game.
The Bell Center is the best, and honestly, it reminds me a lot of Alphon Arena. Obviously, different sorts of atmospheres, but
Nadeau missed one high and wide. Good challenge by Jackson Irving, took away any chance Nadeau had to go top corner.
There is no better atmosphere in college hockey than Alphon Arena.
And they've made it better somehow.
I would kill to play another game there.
Ben Barr says we have everything we need in year 5 with this program. It was such an emotional time when he took over after the loss of Red Gendron in April of 2021. It's the same week that UMass won the national championship with Barr on the bench. Nadeau pushed out wide, marked closely by Del Elche. He's played all the special teams tonight. Nadeau off target. Poirier, little head fake, and then threw it out of the zone. Holt has to retreat, and we're back to 5-on-5. Everything going right for UMass, a successful kill, and Maine drops to 0 for 3 on the man advantage.
Biggest thing for the Minutemen here in the third period is to not take their foot off the gas and just protect the lead. They got to keep their forecheck going and keep their foot on the gas here.
That's why that even strength goal by Olvestad late in the second felt like great insurance. Here is Lucas Olvestad from Stockholm. Leads the charge up ice. Shot was nudged off by Maine on the back check. Played up high, swept in. Boy, got a touch on it. Olvestad to the near side. Puck loose. On a backhand, it's Dewar. Bodies go flying in front. And now some room for Sully Scholey. Olvestad there first for UMass.
Another strong play by Lucas Olvestad. Such a veteran presence back there with him and Murray. The two guys who wear the C leading the way here in the third period for the Minutemen.
Maine backed up again. Clunky pass off the back of the net. UMass takes advantage. First there, Justin Kerr. And now Maine with a takeaway. Scholey at the end of his shift trying to leg it out. Maine is also missing a piece tonight on defense. Brandon Chabrier was a late scratch. We're told that there may be a little sickness bug bouncing around the Maine locker room. It's that time of year, folks. Bugs all over the league.
Chabrier had a heck of a game last night, too. An integral part of the win for Maine.
Loose pass to Motu. Maine looks completely unsettled here. Running out of time. 14 minutes to go in regulation. Black Bears down 3. Looking down the barrel at their first Hockey East loss of the season. Winners of 4 in a row. D'Angelo kick save and a beauty by Boya.
What a play by D'Angelo to win that race to the puck and get a scoring chance.
D'Angelo got off to a rocket fast start in this game. Boya down on one knee, protected nicely by the Black Bears. D'Angelo centering that second line. Another underclassman playing in the middle for UMass. The future is now for Greg Carville's team. Yejko, nice handles, but he's 1-on-4. Galanic joins late, another talented freshman. Boya bumped that one to the backside. Long stretches of whistleless action here in the third. This is good news for UMass. Just draining the Black Bears on the back end of this road trip.
Ben Barr was looking for another power play opportunity, though. Thought one of his defensemen was taken down by a slew foot.
Ben Barr has turned into a legislator over on that far side bench. He is debating with anyone who will look his way, especially if they have a striped shirt. Galanic blazing up the ice. Musa was the target, but a nice back check by Fowler got the active stick in there. Caught out of the air by Miguel Marcus, another freshman. Got his third goal of the season last night, late in the contest.
Predators prospect.
Future talent all over the ice, going to the highest level. Wild has taken his position back in the lineup for UMass. Answered the call from his head coach. Bumped away by the assistant captain, Jurasevich, back out there. Kept in by UMass. Good, relentless pressure. Took a funny hop off the back wall. We have 2 sticks down on the ice. It's a yard sale out there. That one hits a loose stick. Van Tassel gets around his mark. Great handles, and then finally lost the zone. Tap pass to Nadeau. Trying to get his offense going. Punched away with the blocker. That's Jackson Irving again. Faking the one-timer. Dumped in down low. Friel tapped it to Nadeau. Irving in good position again. No threat there from the Black Bears. Motu drives it in. Nadeau running out of steam. Motu plays it back to Nadeau. Bumped off by Olvestad. Nice defensive play. Now the captain's got it for UMass. Can't clear it. Finally, it flutters to center. Quick catch by Langlois, the freshman. Looks fleet of foot. Drop pass. Nadeau bumped out of play, and Van Tassel is exhausted. Great defense by UMass.
Van Tassel and Murray blocking some big shots in that last shift. You can see both them hunched over. Jackson Irving going to come give him a love tap.
3-0 lead for UMass, working hard to stay in front. 3-0 lead for UMass over Maine here in Amherst. Let's look at the out-of-town scores. BU has leveled the game at Aganis 2-2 with Merrimack. Ranked matchup at UConn Providence with the lead on the road, and Boston College bottom of the standings but still ranked in the top 20, 2-1 lead at UVM.
UMass will take on Boston College next weekend for a home-and-home at Conti Forum and at the Mullen Center. But right now, I think to say the biggest surprise on the scoreboard here is BU and Merrimack tied at 2-2. You would think BU would have a big bounce back after that upsetting weekend last weekend up at Maine, but Merrimack giving it to them again tonight at Aganis.
And maybe the biggest game of all in college hockey tonight, #1 Michigan State hosting #3 Penn State in Big Ten action, the first of 2 this weekend in East Lansing. Everyone has the eyes on the NIL talent that's been collected in the Big Ten. Jack Musa blazes it up the sheet, gets around 2 Black Bears, plays it back to Del Elche, rips a shot. That one bounces wide. UMass firing out of the timeout. Look at Musa changing directions. Boya stuck on the sheet. Galanic plays to Del Elche, one-timer, clicked off the heel of Sholey, and the pressure mounts. Nestrasil watches that puck bounce out of the corner. Del Elche played it with a hand, and now the captain Holt has it for Maine and gives it right back. What a takeaway by Nestrasil.
I'm really impressed by those 3, Jack Galanic, Vaslav, Nestrasil, and Jack Musa. Big response after what was a quiet night for them last night. Even more impressive with 2 freshmen on your top line that had a big bounce back like this one.
Musa's the old man as a junior, and he's still got growth ahead. Already leading the league in points with 14. Got a couple power play goals, has a shorthanded goal. He is valuable in everything he does. Less than 10 minutes to go in regulation, still 3-0 UMass. I'm Kevin Gale with Johnny Lazarus. It's Friday Night Hockey East on NESN, and this is exactly what we weren't sure would happen. Frankly, it was a 50-50 shot going into the game, Johnny. Would UMass show up after the 6-2 loss last night? Yeah, they did.
It's always the players-only meeting that gets the guys fired up.
Sometimes you wonder if you pull that ripcord too early. This one was right on time.
And credit to the coaching staff as well. They didn't want to harp on the guys and make them feel even worse than they did. They knew how poorly they played last night, and they wanted to just wash everything, let the guys know how important this game was going to be. A home ice game. You don't want to get swept in your own building, and they've answered the call.
Quickly back to East Lansing, 2-1 victory for #1 Michigan State. That one just went final over Penn State.
Michigan State is going to be a problem for a lot of teams this year. They've been unreal to start the year. We actually had Adam Nightingale, the head coach of Michigan State, on our show this past week, and that program is in great hands.
They had everything they needed to make a Frozen Four run last year, but it ended quickly in Toledo, Ohio. Timeout on the ice, 9:21 to go. Still UMass by 3. Time running out for Maine to avoid its first Hockey East loss this season. UMass has a tight grip on this lead, 3-0 with 9:21 to go in Amherst. Full credit to Jackson Irving in net for UMass. He's got a clean sheet going and trying to stop the bleeding after last night when Maine fired 54 shots on him, came away with a career-high 48 saves. But, man, has he answered the call this weekend with Michael Hrabel day-to-day due to injury. James Norton forced into action as the reserve goaltender on the bench. UMass digging deep, and it's a good reminder to players in this portal era. Sometimes you'll be rewarded for sticking around, waiting for your chances, and a delayed penalty coming against UMass. This one on Justin Kerr, and the Minutemen fans aren't buying it.
They can't believe it, and I don't blame the Minutemen fans because it looked like the Maine player just lost an edge. Kerr was on the forecheck, getting his stick, trying to go stick on puck. But Kerr didn't really touch him. I don't blame him for arguing his case. Looks like the official just officials are discussing it as well.
I like this huddle here by Walker Holton and Michael Zyla just to really think about it. Fans have seen the instant replay up on the big screens. It is clearly just a blown tire and not a trip. Let's take a look.
Simon Motu goes back to receive this puck. Kerr coming from the other side, but Motu's already going down before Kerr even gets there. I agree. I don't think Kerr touched him.
Now you could see though from where that official was stationed, it looked like a trick from his perspective. It's not an excuse, but it looked a lot different.
We also... Wow. Coach Carville's losing his mind right now on the UMass bench. I don't blame him. Again, we get to see a replay in slow-mo, so it's easier for us to tell. The game happens at a really fast pace, but I gotta say, Justin Kerr came nowhere close to touching Motu on that.
Bad call burns UMass. Here's one last look.
Motu's already going down when he touches the puck. Kerr not even a foot away yet.
Maybe when he pulled his stick out of there, the official thought that was trying to plead ignorance, but tough luck for UMass, protecting a 3-0 lead. And a face-off win. Musa trying to win the race. Short-handed. Musa goes down. No makeup call. Nadeau blazes back into the zone for the Black Bears. Good feed to the middle. The captain plays far side to Poirier, who is so due. Minutemen fans aren't being polite. I don't blame them. Down it goes. Back to Boya.
Jack Musa, what a warrior. First he gets a one-on-one opportunity shorthanded against Brandon Holt, gets a shot off, then comes back in the defensive zone and sacrifices his body to block that shot. What an incredible player Musa is.
Maine was handed a gift. The Black Bears have got to take advantage to get back in this game with less than 8 to play in regulation. Now a whistle from behind the play and another penalty for a high stick.
Maine can't believe it either.
There's
Max
your makeup
Scott.
call. Max Scott has words, and he's out of there.
You don't often see high sticking calls in college hockey either. This is a rare one. Max Scott on the forecheck.
Max Scott, the Brown transfer, important piece to the puzzle after Maine lost top 3 centers from last year's team. I mentioned his brother Harrison Scott, now playing for the Texas Stars. That's the Dallas Stars AHL affiliate. Scott, a valuable piece from the hockey hotbed of San Jose, California. Don't sleep on those junior Sharks, folks. Here's a look at the high stick.
Don't really see much there. Surprised there wasn't more of an argument.
Okay, we play 4-on-4. Rasheed Wallace, puck don't lie, or just a makeup call. Either way, UMass dodges a bullet. Still a 3-0 lead. Minutemen trying to close the door. Give Jackson Irving a shutout win.
Oh no, you said it.
We're not that important. We can't jinx it. I promise you. Spent a lot of time in minor league baseball. And I never believed you could jinx a no-no or a shutout. Have faith, my friend.
He's not superstitious, but he is a little stitious.
He is a little stitious. On comes Klechka. Dodging around defenders. Langlois step to him. LJ hard around. Below the goal line to Klechka. Scored on the power play last Friday against Cornell. Already 4 goals in his freshman season. UMass really refilling the cupboard with scoring talent. Drasevich trying to make a difference here late. Sholey went down behind the play for Maine. Black Bears outnumbered here. Funny hop off Irving, and he's got it.
Owen Murray was going for a little backhand saucer pass, but took a very weird bounce. Jackson Irving very alert in his crease all night. He's having a little smile with the linesman. Looked like Owen Murray was just trying to give Galanick a little pass on his forehand, but hit Galanick's shin pad and bounced right into Jackson Irving.
That's why you're so close to those pipes. Those inches make a lot of difference. And Irving had the numbers last year in his 4 starts, 150 goals against average. He was great when called upon. Greg Carvel said the only guy who came ready to play last night here at Mullins, and the rest of the Minutemen followed his lead. Block shot. There's the Minutemen standing tall, or at least going down to the ice for a block, giving up the body in a 3-0 lead.
Vaslav Nestrasil, too, the first-round pick, doing that. A guy with so much skill blocking a shot, you love to see that.
Absolutely. Galanick tees up Del Elche. Off Boya. Wrap-around chance. Musa holds on tight. Galanick feeds the one-timer. Del Elche burned. Boya was looking around, and Nestrasil was poking at it. Maine didn't like that too much, but can't blame him as Nestrasil just smiles and skates away.
He was pointing up at the scoreboard, too. Letting the Maine Black Bears know it's 3-0 right now, but Nestrasil, again, has been in the mix all night. He's still yapping right now with Charlie Russell. Those two, after the whistles all night, have been going at each other.
No love lost between these teams that play hard, but it's still UMass 3-0 over Maine. Maine down 3-0 here at UMass with 5:52 to go in regulation. Top 15 matchup. Black Bears looking at their first league loss of the season if they can't mount a huge charge late. Next week, it's back to Alphond up north. Friday and Saturday against UVM. Black Bears have Vermont's number, won the last 3 meetings, and then at Boston College, BC trying to get back on the right track. BC and UMass at the bottom of the league, 0-2-0 in the standings. Massachusetts says that O has got to go. Home and home with BC coming up, and then at Providence and at Army, a rare trip to West Point.
West Point, always a really fun place to play, though. The fans there are awesome. That rink feels very intimate. Got to play there a couple of times in my career. It'll be a tough challenge for the Minutemen.
Minutemen trying to close the show the right way here at home first. Off a face-off win, Musa goes up high on Boya, who punches it out of play.
Jack Musa hasn't been able to finish one tonight, but boy, has he had a lot of chances showcasing himself here in a huge bounce-back effort from last night.
And for a team that's one of the worst in Hockey East win and draws this season, UMass looks really good firing shots off the draw.
All weekend, Jack Galanick, credit to him too. The Minutemen right now are winning 40 to Maine's 30 face-offs at the dot.
Maine, one of the best teams in the league, winning face-offs. They've had their chances tonight against Jackson Irving, but he has slammed the door. Now 33 saves to lead UMass. Looking to sew up that word. Musa flips it up to the blue line. Holt grabbed it out of the air. Chance now for Max Scott. Played it middle. Poirier just hopping through. Nestrasil got nudged off. Went down to the ice. Peterson trying to make something happen as the net goes empty for Maine. 6 on 5.
I don't hate the move by Coach Barr to pull Boya. You're down by 3 goals, 5 minutes left. May as well try to get one and see what can happen.
Hard hit. Kerr got plugged up against the glass. Friel made him feel it. Captain tries to redirect all the way around to Langlois. Let's go UMass chant here late. UMass outnumbered with the net empty on the other end. Friel dodging Minutemen and officials. Nestrasil can't get it out. Bouncing puck off the back wall. Poirier was waiting in the circle. Jurasevich finds Poirier, the talented freshman. Stopped by UMass. Grabbed by Olvestad, the captain. UMass has it. Wild spun it out of the zone between his own legs. UMass on a change. Maine bringing fresh legs on. Pokes free. Offsides. Maine has to get out. Olvestad looking up ice, connects a pass. Kerr off Yejko, missed the open net.
Oh, a little friendly fire for Justin Kerr there, who was looking for his first collegiate goal.
Oh, those eyes get so wide for the young guys when the net is open. Great way to get the monkey off the back with no goaltender in there. Jurasevich plays it to Del Elche, wrong team. UMass try to hold on late. Toe save by Irving, always outside the pipe. Del Elche frees it up. Van Tassel was waiting, cherry picking. Kept in by Maine. Now it's Owen Fowler. Puck knocked around in front. Oh, that was played out of the air by Del Elche. Didn't help Irving with that. Now a good chance for D'Angelo. Wide open look, he fumbled, played it off. Yejko buries it! Second goal of the night for Daniel Yejko, this time with an empty net. UMass has 4 on the board.
And credit to the goaltender, Jackson Irving, who knocks the puck out of midair instead of trying to smother it in what would have been a defensive zone draw. This allows Mikey D'Angelo to pressure along the boards, get a lucky bounce, and then take it all the way himself until he bobbles it. But lucky enough, Daniel Yejko was there to follow up the play and put it home for his second of the night and to basically close this game out.
He'll tell you that's a pass. He gets an assist, and the crowd loves it. What a response by UMass tonight. Closing in on its first Hockey East win of the season. For Maine, nothing went right tonight. Now just trying to avoid a shutout as that one goes into the stands. Really good stuff by the Minutemen. Carvel called them out. They called a team meeting. The players took ownership, and they have controlled all phases of the game tonight.
This was a big test for the Minutemen, and something that has been a challenge for them all year is staying consistent. They had a really strong first period, and they followed that up. Even though Maine had plenty of opportunities to get themselves back in this game, they just weren't able to beat Jackson Irving all night. You got to credit the man in between the pipes for UMass.
Greg Carvel told us simply, if you want to sweep weekend series or avoid getting swept, it all comes down to special teams and goaltending. Jackson Irving, elite in net tonight for UMass, and special teams owned by the Minutemen. 6 penalties committed by Maine, 2 found the back of the net for power play goals.
But we'll see another penalty on UMass, so Maine will get another power play chance here late in the game. Nick Van Tassel going for boarding. Hit a guy in the numbers, you can't do that. So UMass will have to kill one more off to close out this game.
Yeah, he knows it. You can see the frustration in the box. And that's going to put a little pressure on Jackson Irving. The only drama left here with 2:21 to go.
Don't say it.
Van Tassel, we'll hear about that later. 7th round pick by Ottawa a couple seasons ago. 5th power play chance tonight. Boya is in there. Maine is 0 for 4 on the man advantage after going 2 for 4 last night. Big letdown on special teams. Poirier is hungry for a goal. He's had the most chances, the most shots for Maine, and he's out there on the power play. Nadeau waiting, crisscrossing in front of the net. Yusa can't clear. Poirier steps in, lifts a shot. That one just missed. That puck was wiggling to the near post, but stayed out.
Inches away. Great battle down low by Owen Murray. Lucas Olvestad also boxing out in front. The Minutemen have done such a better job of protecting the house tonight.
Dirty areas always determine the series between Maine and UMass, 2 teams that do the hard work. But tonight, UMass has been grittier. Trying to finish it off for Jackson Irving. Irving had 1 shutout last season, looking for his 2nd career clean sheet with 1:03 to go. Final chance for Maine. Here's a shot and a save. Rebound collected. That was James Dewar.
Maine having a hard time setting up their power play all night long. Last night, it seemed easy for them, but tonight the Minutemen have really shut down the middle of the ice.
Marcus throws it through traffic. Body goes flying over the top of Jackson Irving, who is flat on his backside, and here we go. Teams didn't like that contact right in front of the goal mouth. And we might see a couple guys sent here, Johnny.
You're always going to get a response when you run into a goalie, and Francesco Del Elche didn't hesitate for a second to go over to Charlie Russell and let him have it. These two have been jawing at each other all night. Charlie Russell, especially in blue, has been going after all the Minutemen. But Jackson Irving has kept his composure throughout this entire game. He's made 38 saves, starting with that beauty on Maine's first power play. That was a scoring chance from Max Scott, and from there, Irving has just showcased an insane performance.
Russell, Del Elche, and Van Tassel are screaming at each other from their opposing penalty boxes. We can hear some of this from our broadcast position, and nobody's happy. They're interrupting a beautiful saves package for Jackson Irving, who's got 38 stops tonight, and the scorer is buzzing the horn. He's had to hear some colorful language. And we're just trying to get this thing across the finish line now with 38 seconds left. You can feel the frustration from Maine. They've been knocked around tonight, and they will knock it out of here with a sweep. Looks like someone else is going to the box. Bodie Nobes has stepped in.
Both coaches probably telling their bench also to stay smart. Don't want to cost yourself any suspension or anything along those lines to cost your chances at playing next weekend.
UMass student section knows it's time to go. You know they're going to have fun on Friday night in Amherst.
Oh, yeah.
Still early. Not for us. We're old now.
And maybe the players can enjoy their Saturday after a Friday night win.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
rare
nice
to get
thing.
a Saturday off.
That's the nice thing about a Thursday-Friday tilt. Maine's got a long ride back after tonight's game. Just looking for one goal late for a little respect. Nestrasil, fresh on the ice, breakaway chance. Boya stops him.
What a lucky bounce that was for Vaslav Nestrasil, who's having a laugh. Oh my God, he's been chirping all night.
This freshman from Czechia is not shy.
It looked like the puck was bobbled just a little bit by Sully. Scholey and Nestrasil coming right out of the box with a pretty clean breakaway. Scholey just on his back. Nestrasil couldn't elevate that puck over a sprawling Boya. But Nestrasil has been in the mix all night.
5-on-4 time for UMass with 12.2 seconds left. Nestrasil chasing. Black Bears running out of time. One last gasp. It's not going to happen tonight in Mullins. Jackson Irving gets the second shutout of his UMass career in a 4-0 win over Maine. And check out the scene in the crease. Look at the love the Minutemen have for their backup goaltender. Turned starter, he picks up the third win of his career.
Just an incredible response from a young group and an inexperienced goaltender to come out and shut out the Maine Black Bears 4-0 after losing 6-2 on home ice the night before. That is a very mature win for this young Minutemen group, and it's something that they can hang their hat on and feel really good about going into this week and topping off the weekend.
38 saves for Jackson Irving. He had to fight through the first period. Maine set the tone in the first 10 minutes. UMass had the answers time and again. 4 goals on home ice. Yenchko with a pair. And here are some of the sizzling saves for Jackson Irving. This one, the best of all. Blocker on the ice, That's how he kept the clean sheet. A fun one tonight. Friday night, Hockey East on Nesson always delivers. For my broadcast partner, Johnny Lazarus, on our entire production crew here at UMass, I'm Kevin Gale saying thanks so much for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Hockey East Association on Nesson. Your final score, UMass, its first win of the Hockey East season, 4-0 over Maine. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.